baseball, everything's all about like a 3-run homer or, a strikeout or a walk. And in football, if we have all these like antiseptic arenas where, the elements are not a factor in the NBA, what do we have now? Like almost every shot is a 3-pointer. So for me, even though it was a big game, it was high leverage, you had 2 quarters of, all right, football, and then the snow fell, and you had 2 quarters of something different. I kind of liked it in that it was, something actually different. The elements were the third team involved.
Yeah, so we're going to get into all that. I do think this is the place to start, though, for us. And I wonder sort of how this hits you. For me, and again, lovely Christy and I got away to Vegas, and so we were
nice.
we were watching the Seahawks-Rams game amongst fans of all kinds of NFL teams because we're at a sports bar environment in Vegas. There were Seahawks fans there. There were Rams fans there. There were Niners fans there. There were Patriots and Broncos fans there who were drunk and had not gone home yet. All of that was there. And so it was kind of an interesting vibe to take a little bit of the pulse of everything going on in the room. I can tell you what hit me, though, like a ton of bricks. First of all, those were the 2 best teams in the NFC, and it wasn't close. Those are the 2 teams that should be in there.
Yep.
But I'm watching this football game, and I know the Rams lost, but I'm watching this football game, and the very first thing that's coming to my mind is this is a tough day for the 49er organization because basically for 3 weeks we've been sold this Seahawks defense is so next level. You got to understand it's just really hard to move the ball against him. And Matt Stafford was putting together 3 play drives. The Rams did. I know they lost.
Yep.
Matt Stafford didn't have any problem moving the ball against Seahawks. Same building, same noise, same defense, same everything. Yesterday was a huge wake-up call for the San Francisco 49ers organization, I felt.
But no Kittle, right? If they had Kittle, then they would have been able to do exactly that. And of course, I'm totally joking, but if you want to look at like what the Rams did, number one, they protected Stafford, and Stafford got sacked and he got pressured, sure, but their O-line is better. Their running backs are, they're not better, but they were able to run the ball better because the O-line is better. And then you look at the wide receivers, and they've got Puka, and they've got Devontae, and you've got Ricky-ish, and you've got third and Jawan. Like that to me is where it really became kind of a galling difference of what they have and what you have. Like Stafford or Purdy. Stafford's better. I get that. Will Purdy eventually be as good as Stafford? I hope so. Right now Stafford is amazing, but you've got Puka, the best wide receiver in football. You've got Devontae Adams, who might be Hall of Fame-ish.
Oh, yeah, I think he could end up there. Sure.
Sure, but he's Hall of Fame-ish. And then you've got, tight ends, and you've got a scheme that is, kind of Shanahan-esque and all the rest of it. But, yeah, they went through Seattle, not hot knife through butter, but like cold knife through butter. They were able to get through butter. Meanwhile, the Niners were, oh my God, like hike, and Brock Purdy's running for his life. So yeah, I kind of had the same reaction, Mark, where you watch the Rams and that game right away, and I actually shared this with our thread. I said, bet the over, which, by the way, is the only pick I got right. My picks, they actually do stink.
Boy, the Super Bowl.
Cue up Guy Santos.
Super Bowl is now for a winning playoff record for you.
It's a must-win for your boy.
You're 6-6 now.
I did share with the group, like, bet the over, and then that thing was, like, over-ish from the start. So, yeah, that was probably the worst part about that game was that the Rams were, okay, Seattle's defense, we saw you. You're good, but we're as good.
That's what I took away from it.
Yep.
It was really hard to watch. It's like, and again, you can piece apart like the individual by, they've got Puka, the Niners don't have that. I think it's the entire operation. Like the 49ers have tons of players on offense, so it's like, well, we're not giving those back, right? Christian McCaffrey's not a problem. George Kittle's not a problem. Brock Purdy's not a problem. Trent Williams is not a problem. But the whole operation has a lot of work to do. And to a degree, I do wonder if what happened this year to the 49ers was maybe a little bit of like it was a little bit of a result of what they tried to do in the draft on defense. They decided, right, we're going to cut some funding. We're going to get younger. We're going to draft like all defense. We're going to get Robert Saleh in here, draft all defense. Well, what does that also mean? It also means you ignored your offense. And you brought in essentially almost nobody new, right? There's no Brandon Ayuk, but Ricky Pearsall's from the draft before. Yes, you drafted Jordan Watkins and whatnot, but the offensive line, you didn't really add anybody new there. You didn't add anybody new to the wide receiver core or the backfield. Sure, you traded for Brian Robinson, but it was just like a little sprinkling of an update to the offense. And so I think some things in the NFC passed you by. And now you've got to get to work on kind of rebuilding that offense. And for me, it's not from the outside in, it's from the inside out. I am still of the belief, yes, the Niners need to get faster, more dynamic in the receiving core, but receiving core is not problem number one on the offense. Problem number one on both sides of the ball is what you got going on in those trenches.
Yep, the A gap, the B gap, and for the offense, it's the center and it's probably the left guard. I think the right guard is still good enough. Dominic Pooney, 2 years in, I do think that he's good enough to be your starting right guard, but your center is not good enough and your left guard is not good enough. So until you can do that, then your run offense becomes all about getting to the edge and not actually being able to go straight up the middle. And you talked about this before, Mark, where you had 3rd down and 1 and you don't sneak it. And Kyle talked about it, the sneak wasn't there and stuff. And so we didn't sneak it. And yeah, the sneak wasn't there because your guys can't push their guys back a half a yard. And then on 4th down, you go to the fullback option pitch to the halfback on the edge. That's not what you do when you're a Shanahan offense. You get 3rd and 1 and you go straight ahead. And even if it's 4th and 1, you go straight ahead. And if you can't do that with confidence, then that's your problem.
Yep. So, I mean, that's like, I end up in situations like these, I'm kind of like, I'm thankful for it. And here's what I mean by that. I think all of us, we don't like looking in the mirror. We don't like wake-up calls. Wake-up calls are uncomfortable. But the Niners got one yesterday, and they damn well needed it. I am so glad that the 49ers, despite all of their injuries this year, still took all of us fans on what was largely a fun ride. 12-5 and a playoff win in Philadelphia against the reigning champs. There's a lot to hang your hat on there. But what the worry would be coming out of that is, we went 12-5. Like, we're right there. You're not right there. You're not. You're there. Like, I don't think you're suddenly, right? You're not one of the bad. You're not the Saints. You're not the Cardinals. You're a good franchise. You've got a lot of good pieces in place. You are competitive. But to play 8 quarters this winter against the Seahawks and get 0 touchdowns, and watch the Rams come out on the field and just boop, right down the field, repeatedly, and still almost win the game, even though their punt returner is just like, I mean, you might as well cover your eyes. You got as much chance to catch the ball back there.
Wow.
He was on skates the entire day. Their special teams ruined their season. It threatened to do it all year, and it finally did. But here we are. And it's obvious if you're watching it. The Rams Matt Stafford was able to drop back and have time and then have receivers and have options and have this, that, and the other. All the things that the 49ers offense did not and could not have in 8 consecutive quarters against the Seahawks. So, yay 12-5, yay win at Philly, but also, wow, get to work.
Yeah, yikes. And if you think about just yesterday's game, the Rams scored 27 points. The Niners actually played 12 quarters against Seattle, and they scored 26 points.
How about that?
So the Rams, 1 game on the road, 27. Niners, 12 quarters, 26. And that includes, by the way, the opening drive that the Niners went, I think, 95 yards in the first drive of the year.
Opening drive.
Boom, boom, boom. Pearsall, boom. We scored, touchdown. Let's have a great year. And then beyond that, You scored
19
one more touchdown.
Points.
Yep, one more touchdown.
19 points in 11 more quarters against the Seahawks.
Rams yesterday, 27. You 3 times against them, 26. And that to me is like the big one that hit me as I was walking away from the game last night, thinking about, the Rams, they lost, and it was kind of cool because Sean McVay, and he did it again. He blew it, in my opinion. Like, you go for 2, you should, you don't. Kick the field goal, you should, you didn't, and we can get into that.
Well, how many times you watch a football game in 2025 and yell the phrase "kick the field goal" at the TV?
Take the points. Right.
We probably talk about this later.
Yep.
We should probably talk about this later.
We should.
We're at crisis level. We're at crisis level of people yelling, "Take the points" at their television screen. And they won't do it.
Nope.
It just keeps getting worse. And I'm not 1,000% sure that we're right. I'm really not. But I know that I feel that way in the game a lot. It's easy to do it after the game. But I feel that way in the game a lot. Take the points.
Right.
They won't do it.
No, they won't. They won't.
Kyle Shanahan does it.
Usually.
He usually does it.
Usually. The Broncos should have. Early on, they're up 7-0. You take the points, and turns out points were actually very important in that game. But I'm thinking about the Rams where you get a touchdown, you cut it to 5, go for 2. Like, make that a 3-point game. They don't. They get the kick, and so now you're down 4, and then you get down deep there with 5 minutes left, and you could have kicked the field goal to be down 1, but instead you go for it, you don't get it, and then you barely got the ball back after that, and you lose.
Yeah. Exactly right. So I don't know where that whole thing is, and we're going to have that. That's an analytics conversation, which I know is to a degree something that you love and deep dive a lot. So we can get into that. But I do think it would be fun, and we'll do this here literally in about 5 minutes. We'd love to open it up to your phone calls on how it felt specifically as a 49er fan to watch the Seahawks and Rams play the way that they did yesterday. And mainly for me, watching the Rams go up and down the field. Seahawks defense, unbelievable. Best in the NFC, blah, blah, blah. Rams went up and down the field on them. What was Stafford's final line? No turnovers, 3 touchdown throws, well over 300 yards passing. That was an offense that was clearly, and by the way, has largely been able to do this in all 3 of their matchups. Yep. Function at a very high level. 2 of the 3 games in Seattle, and the Rams went well north of 25 points both times. 27 in this one, I think 37 in the one on Thursday night a few weeks ago. So the Rams offense is totally able to function in the environment that the 49ers was not. The one that I will say, for me, that's what was hard yesterday. I'll tell you what wasn't hard that I keep hearing from people. What isn't hard for me is that the Seahawks are playing the Patriots at Levi Stadium. Am I supposed to be bothered by this?
It had to be one of them, and I'm less bothered by that. And the great Mark Grandy joined us last week and talked about how much Seattle triggers him.
Yeah.
No, he's great, but I think it's more generational. And somebody of his age, like Seattle is that. They're that team. They're that villain. But for me and you, it's more Dallas than it is Seattle. So, for me, it's more about McVay bothering me than it was about Seattle bothering me. Yeah, I don't want Seattle to win. Spoiler alert, the pick is in. They will win. They're going to house New England. The spread's come back down, by the way. It's back down to 4.5. Yeah. But anyway, we can get into that over the next 13 days. But I'm less bothered by Seattle than I would be about McVay.
I'm with you on that. But I guess the one, and we can hear from you on this, 888-957-9570. Does Seattle and New England, does that bother you at Levi Stadium? I'm with you. I'd rather see Seattle there than the Rams, number one. But number two, all of the things that are attached here, for some people, the Patriots, if they win, that means they're going to have 7 all time. For others, if Sam Darnold wins, he was your backup. You had him in the building, and now he wins the Super Bowl. And then the other side is it is another division rival, and it makes you feel further and further away. And then the last aspect I keep hearing, and this is the one that really doesn't get me. Someone help me on this. It doesn't bother you that the Seahawks are playing in your house?
Right. Turkey
I'm
on
like,
the 50 again.
I guess that would bother me if the Niners had something to do with that, but that's like the city of Santa Clara and the city of San Francisco and that's a building. This was set. How many years ago was this set? 4, 5 years ago?
Yeah, maybe more.
So whoever's there, if they were there housing the Niners in their own building, okay, maybe that would bother me. There will not be Niner fans there. There will not be Niners there. There will not be Niners coaches there. There will not be Jerry Rice and Steve Young throwing the ball to one another in suits before the game. None of these things are going to happen. It's just a building, and admit it, 49er fans, it's a building most of you don't even like. Yeah. You don't even like this building.
There's that.
You won't even sit in those seats. So how are you going to now suddenly tell us, oh gosh, this is triggering that the Seahawks and Patriots are coming to your house.
Levi's.
It's a reservation. The Niners had nothing to do with that at all. So, the fact that the Seahawks will be in the Niners locker room, cool. Use the hangers. Have a great time. It's a verbo. I don't know.
Totally.
Leave a tip, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
I don't know. That part doesn't get to me at all.
Me either. And I think that it would get confetti, and it won't be red and gold, and then you'll sweep it up, and, whatever happens with the electromagnetic field happens, and we'll move on.
I just feel like we should have been sort of more mentally prepared for that. Who's going to the playoffs? We all knew Carolina was fake. They were 8-9.
Even in their losses.
Exactly. So, okay, look at this. This is very exciting. Again, if you're just joining us, it has been a rough and tumble day here at 95.7 The Game. But we are back. We are rocking. We are rolling. The lights are on. We can see your text messages. We can see your YouTube comments. I know you can't see us. There's one.
Coming soon.
Yeah, YouTube cameras coming to a theater near you. ... hopefully. But we can also see your calls. So 888-957-9570. Niner fans, let's get real on this. How did it feel to watch the Seahawks play the Rams, and in particular to watch the Rams move up and down the field on that immovable defense? We can get to that. 888-957-9570. We're sponsored by DAZN and also Dub Nation. We got a game tonight, so let's get engaged. Before every game, vote in our engaging Dub Nation poll on 95.7 The Game's Twitter page. It's brought to you by Shane Co., your friend and jeweler, where you'll find the Bay Area's best selection of unique engagement rings and their unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com today. All right, after the Jimmy Butler injury and as presently constructed, what are you thinking right now as we recalibrate here? Are the Warriors a playoff team, a play-in team, or hell, are they an 11 seed or worse? Playoff, play-in, or neither? Vote now on Twitter. We'll share those results later. Your calls next. Seahawks and Rams. How'd that taste? It's Willard and Dibbs.
Two global superstars in their prime square off at Madison Square Garden. Here we go. Tiafimo, the Brooklyn-born king of 140, looks to retain his world title as Shakur steps up to become a 4-division world champion. Don't miss Lopez versus Stevenson, January 31st. Watch only on DAZN.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Listos todos. Estas son las mañanitas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 new lines, and 4 eligible trade-ins. For well-qualified customers with auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement required.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Team up with Stanford Blood Center and the Golden State Warriors this winter to save lives. From January 2nd to 31st, every donor who presents to donate blood at any center or drive will receive a special redemption card for a co-branded SBC Warriors sweatshirt. Wear your new sweatshirt with pride, knowing that you contributed to both the Warriors community and the life-saving work of the Stanford Blood Center. Don't miss this chance to give back and get rewarded in style. Donating blood is easy, and your gift could save a life. Visit StanfordBloodCenter.org/promotions for more information.
When selecting a financial institution, how do you know you're making the right choice? As Bay Area bank customers find themselves at a crossroads, maybe it's good to consider if you want your bank to be community-oriented or corporate-minded. Fremont Bank has grown by providing stable, consistent service to the region, its families, and its businesses for 60 years, all without a single merger. And we intend for more of the same for the next 60. Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good. Tune in to 95.7 The Game for exclusive and exciting live play-by-play Warriors action brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
95.7 The Game and Great Clips have teamed up for the new basketball season. We want our listeners to look fresh with a great haircut from Great Clips. Each week, we'll pick a lucky winner to score a gift card. For a chance to win, courtesy of Great Clips, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Don't watch the game alone on your tiny screen. Ghostwood Kitchen is the ultimate destination for every major sporting event. They have huge screens, energetic atmosphere, and ice-cold craft beer. Their bar is ready to pour your favorite drink, and the menu is packed with delicious game day food perfect for sharing. Bring your team spirit, rally your friends, and catch every single moment with us at Ghostwood Kitchen, where the game is always on. And when the game is not on, we have the arcade to keep you going. Ghostwood Kitchen, 911 Main Street in Redwood City.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, schedule, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. One partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Now, back to Willard and Dibs.
What are you asking exactly? I'm still confused by your question.
I mean, what kind of question is that?
On 95.7 The Game.
So that's funny. We're going to go to the phones here in just a sec.
Yeah,
Warriors play tonight. Kind of a miserable NFC Championship game for Niner fans to watch. But I want to share just a quick story because Dibs asked me about this during the commercial break. For those of you who were listening last week when we were talking about the odds at a blackjack table, and we even had a caller call in with the idea of if you get, let's say, 16 at a blackjack table and the dealer is showing 10. Remember, he called us and he's like, in any casino, you can surrender and they'll give you half your money back. So I was playing at a $25 table, put $25 out there.
Money.
Well, they don't offer you a whole lot less.
Nope.
And I don't like playing in the 47 deck shoes, which is what you do for $15. I'm like, I'll pay $25 and let's play the actual game. But anyway, I've never done it before in my life. I've never surrendered.
Right.
And I don't know if you could do it at any casino, but this is what our caller told us. And so the thought did cross my mind. I get the 16, you're facing a 10, and I'm like, should I ask? What do you think?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, what do you think I did?
You played it out.
And why do you think I did that?
Because you don't want to be embarrassed in front of not your peers, but in front of other people.
It's also just not the way I'm built.
Right.
Like, I cannot.
You don't surrender.
No, not. First of all, I don't surrender. And second of all, I'm not pessimistic enough to be like, do you know how many 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s are in that deck? And one of them might. Do you know what? This is a lot of the way sometimes when I have a tough decision to make. How would you feel if blank happened? So I surrender. So somebody could give me $12.
Right. And 50 cents.
And 50 cents. They got to find one of those stupid little 50-cent coins, and now you got that. Like, what am I going to do with this 50-cent coin? And then the next player goes, I'll take a card. The 5.
Yep.
Do you know what I would feel like?
Schmidt.
So I thought
Shout
about
out
it.
Casey.
I thought
no longer
about
starting.
It.
Eventually.
I thought about it, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I can surrender. No.
So you didn't hit.
I'm gonna hit
you
that
stayed,
thing.
and then.
No, I hit. You hit.
That's 16.
16 against a 10, I'm hitting.
And?
Well, mixed results, but that's the idea.
And you got a jack.
Sometimes.
Right?
Sometimes I got a 5. Sometimes I got a 4.
Sure.
Actually, I did pretty well at the blackjack table this weekend. Yeah, I did all right. I did all right.
All right. How'd you do in the games? Because you were liking the home teams early.
If I had just stuck to my original, I baited you on both. And
Fade the dibber. Yeah. I was 0 for 2.
But I wanted to be in alignment with my wife, and she thought that the Rams were going to cover the 2.5. And then I convinced myself in the morning that Sam Darnold was going to have a crappy game. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, I felt great about the Broncos plus 3.5. And then that got stupid and I won.
Yep.
And then it didn't go as well. So yeah, I should have stuck with my picks that I gave you on Friday.
Yep.
I didn't. But that's okay. That's okay. We had a great time because it made it all the way to the end.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like with 30 seconds to go, there was still a plausible thought here that
Not really.
I mean, with 2 minutes there was.
With 5 minutes, there was. If you kick the field goal,
there's that.
Like, you kick it, and now you're down 1. I get it. Ooh, you're down 1. You might as well be down 4. No, you might as well not be down 4. You're down 1, and then you get the ball back with, 30-something seconds left. If you get 10 or 15 yards, now you have a chance. If you kick a long field goal, you could still win. But down 4, you have no chance. And that's where you and I have talked about it. Analytics say this, and human beings say that. Kick the field goal, take the points, and live to fight another day.
Well, and he would have kicked the field goal if he had gone for 2 and gotten it late in the third quarter when Puka Nacua scored that touchdown after the Tariq Woolen taunting penalty. I looking back on it and the time on the clock and who we're talking about, Sean McVegas.
Yep.
What the hell are you doing not going for 2? What are you doing? I get it at the beginning of the second half. When it's 24-19.
Right.
Kick the extra point.
Yep.
But when it's 31-26.
Late third.
Very late third.
Yep.
It's almost, you are in the shadow of the fourth quarter. What are you doing, dude?
Agreed.
That I didn't get. That I didn't get. But.
And the Tariq Woolen taunting, I know that you're always anti-taunting and you're anti, the refs weighing in.
Well, I'm just anti-refs, yeah.
I know you are, but especially when it comes to, grown men who are expressing their feelings and emotions. But I think in this case, you might actually, agree with the ref.
Oof.
Say it, Mark. Stand on it. Stand on what you say. Stand on what they did.
It's absolutely 100% the correct call.
However,
no.
I mean, the rule, taunting, I know you don't love taunting in general.
Well, taunting is stupid.
Right.
Taunting is stupid if it's in the form that we're used to. Taunting is stupid if I'm guarding you, I knock the ball away, and I look down at you on the ground, and I go, yeah, mother jumper, eat that.
I got the ball, and you got the ground.
How's that taste?
Tell me.
How's that taste?
Kobe.
Y'all just lost the NFC title game. How's it taste? That's fine. That's professional sports. But once the play is over and then you decide to go the wrong way, Your bench is over there, Tariq. That's their bench.
Right.
So now I'm going to take a left turn and walk 20 yards out of the way, away from the people that I just beat. I'm going to walk toward the coach, walk to the sideline, get on their sideline, and start inciting their emotions. I'm sorry. That is, both literally and figuratively, out of bounds.
Right. Yeah.
Correct flag.
Wow.
Sorry if it hurts your feelings. Sorry if you think that it's soft. It's not soft. It's not soft. I would argue that what Tariq did was soft. And if you don't agree with me and Dibs on that, ask Tariq Woolen's teammate who got in his face and almost got into a fight on their sideline because he almost ruined their chances of going to the Super Bowl. That's my feeling.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad to hear it because when that happened and I'm watching it with, my family and my father-in-law, whatever, my brother-in-law, we were getting ready to have crab. It was delicious. And we're watching it and, oh my God, flag and taunting. And then you watch it. It's like, oh my God, I'm watching it thinking, yes, that's a garden variety, absolute taunt. And then my second thought was, oh God, here we go. Willard and Dibs. My partner, he's going to think, let the grown men be grown men. Let them express themselves. Let them have their emotions and all the rest of it.
Not that way. Not that way.
Yeah.
That's calling for a fight.
Right. That's calling for a flag.
Right.
Is what it was.
I mean,
3rd and 10.
Look.
You stop them. You get them off the field, and then you do that.
Here's how I see it. If Draymond Green goes over to a ref and says, briefly, for 5 seconds or less, you suck. That was wrong. What the hell are you looking at? Please, will you, this is bullshit.
Ooh.
All of those things, and then moves on, or in some way, shape, or form, the game then restarts. Draymond might still be a little chirpy. If that's the case, hold your technical foul in your pocket, please. But what Tariq Woolen did yesterday is basically Draymond doesn't talk to the ref. Draymond goes over to the opposing team's bench and sits in Rudy Gobert's lap and goes, you suck!
Do you have any Grey Poupon?
That's different.
Yep.
That's different. You are trying to pick a fight in a dead ball spot, and you're wrong.
After you just got off the field, theoretically.
Right.
And then they go right at you on the next play.
Next play, touchdown, Puka. That's what you get.
That's what you get.
That's what you get.
Yep.
All right, let's take some calls. 888-957-9570 is the number. I can already see a text that just came through that's probably going to be a discussion point. I'm going to have to read it. I need to take a breath first, though, before I read it. We'll read it here in a couple of minutes. I need to do some meditation first because I'm getting upset, but that's okay. Let's go to Yard Doctor in Napa. Yard Doctor, hi. Thanks for calling. Thanks for waiting with us today on 95.7 The Game. What's going on?
Hey, Willard, Dibs, yes, loving the show. About the idiot up there with the taunting call. Had they lost that game, I think he might have a little trouble getting to his car. So, he needs a big fine. Anyway, what bugs me about watching them run up and down the field is I think we need somebody to stretch the field. I think that's a big problem with our offense, that there's a lid on our offense that lets the safeties and cornerbacks tighten up on our receivers, and we need somebody to stretch the field.
That's a big part of it. I mean, I think, look, here's the good news. Yard Doctor, thanks. Kyle Shanahan said in the closing press conference, we have to get faster. So they know. They're very, very aware of this. And to me, here's what I would say about this offensive issue that they couldn't move the ball against Seattle and the Rams went in there and had no problem with it. I don't think there's any one answer. So, for instance, someone may say, we don't have any receivers to stretch the field. Okay, that's not it. And somebody has already texted in about Brock Purdy. Okay, that's not it. And then you could text in about the offensive line. And I would say that's not it. None of these things are it by themselves. It is a complete collective. But I can tell you what I think is the biggest of those three issues, if those are your issues. The biggest of those three issues for me is absolutely the trenches. It's absolutely the offensive line. And I think it's fair for a 49er fan if you've grown tired of Kyle Shanahan telling you that the offensive linemen who aren't performing that well are really, really great. I don't want to be told that Jake Brendel is awesome. I don't want to be told that anymore.
Show me, don't tell me.
You don't tell me that these offensive linemen in the interior for the 49ers are doing great. Because if they were doing great, then there wouldn't be big fat people sitting on Brock Purdy when he's trying to conduct the offense.
And beyond that, you would be getting more than, 3.8 yards per carry? And your rush offense this year was as bad as it's been under Kyle Shanahan. So yes, I'm with you as far as what the biggest issue is. But, I did the deep dive on wide receivers and what percentage of your catches as a team were to wide receivers. And the Niners were at 40.5, which was only better than two other teams in football. So only 40% of your passes were completed to wide receivers. And I thought, let me look at the other teams who are still playing and how did they do? Well, Seattle is 62%, the Rams 62%, even New England, who, name their wide receiver. I dare you. You probably could because you watch everything, but they're at 61%. So they're able to throw the ball to wide receivers, and the Niners aren't. And I know that Ricky was hurt, sure, and Jawan is more of a third down guy, but when you have a team that cannot throw the ball to wide receivers, you're really limited. And when your tight end misses not quite half the year, but he missed more than a third of the year, right? And so your passing offense was hut hike. Where's McCaffrey? Check down, swing route, over here. You get it over here. He had 102 catches. You need to be able to throw the ball to your receiver. And what do you see last night from that game? You had JSN come through big with a couple of big-time catches.
God, he's a good player.
And Puka Nacua, throw it anywhere near him, he's going to get it. Devontae had a couple of good catches, including the touchdown. The Niners don't have one, let alone two of those guys.
For my money, I know that there's a lot of opinions on this, and fantasy football can get in the way sometimes. Those are, for my money, the two best football players at the wide receiver position in the game.
Yeah.
Those are my two. That's who I would take, because they're not just wide receivers, they're football players. Tough, smart, just very, very prolific, multifaceted football players, and young. Rookie contracts.
Yep.
Okay? They're going to get
huge. For now, Puka's about to get the big,
they're going to get huge
truck.
Dollars.
Yep.
They're going to get huge dollars. But, I would take those guys over Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Right.
On my football team.
Over Ayuk? Over Debo?
That's funny.
Although, Debo had a good year.
That's funny.
Debo had a nice year.
He did?
Yeah, he did. In Washington.
What's the question?
He was playing with Mariota and parts of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, no, I get that.
He had a pretty good year, and there was no McLaurin, so he got doubled a lot. But if you look at what the Niners have, they've got Ricky Pearsall-ish, kind of. You've got third and Jawan, and then you've got nothing else. And that's why when I look at these numbers of, the total catches by wide receivers, they don't have that many because they can't get open, these guys.
Debo went for 727 yards, 10 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. He's fine.
That would be the best year of anyone on the Niners. That's better than Jawan's year.
Was it? And
Jawan had maybe 6 TDs and about 680 yards.
And Debo played more games than Jawan, almost for sure.
Did Jawan miss a game?
I'm almost sure he missed a couple games.
He played with broken ribs.
Well, that's the thing. He played through. Yep. So Jawan played 15. Debo played 16.
Okay.
Yeah. And the numbers are a little bit better for Debo.
Right. But again, I think the bigger point that I'm trying to make is that they're both wide receiver 2 and or 3.
Agreed.
If you're good. And you look at these other teams the Rams, they had Puka and Devontae, and Seattle, they've got JSN, who was, maybe offensive player of the year.
Jawan is supposed to be wide receiver 3 on this team.
Right.
That was the plan. Brandon Ayuk went crazy, and Ricky got a bunch of injuries. So,
there you
get
go.
elevated.
That's right.
Yeah. Remy in Los Banos. Hey, Remy, thanks for calling the show. What's up?
What's up, Willard and Dibs? How you guys doing today, man?
We're great, bud.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call and talk about the game last night and how I felt about it, as you guys mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so even though I don't like both of them, I was hoping they both lost, but of course that's impossible. I'm kind of happy that the Rams won. No, sorry. I'm happy that Seattle won because these Rams fans call Levi Stadium SoFi South, and I don't like that. What do you think about that, man?
You mean SoFi North? Remy, you said that Rams fans call Levi Stadium SoFi South? Okay.
No, they call it SoFi North.
SoFi North,
which I don't like.
Yeah, well, Remy, thanks.
Right.
That's
it's nonsense.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I mean, the sound of Levi Stadium when the Rams are here versus the sound of SoFi Stadium when the Niners are there is not even remotely close.
Right. And if the Rams win the Super Bowl, and they won't this year, but maybe next year, their parade is at Disneyland.
They even have one?
They're going to coincide it with
exactly.
Mickey and Minnie down Main Street because otherwise no one will show up.
You know what, though? Fans of other teams are always going to say, so again, watch this game in a potpourri of fans of teams because you got to buy tickets to this place where we watch the game. You got to buy tickets 2-3 weeks in advance. So you don't know if your team is going to be there. So there were actually a handful of Niner fans in the building. There were people in Cowboys jerseys. Why they were there, I don't know. I had to let them know, you didn't even make the playoffs.
Willard and Dibs, can you just lay out?
No, that was what the whole day was about. I think that there were a lot of fans at the bar yesterday who went, and I didn't go with gear on. Black T-shirt, whatever. Rest in peace to the Niners season.
Yep.
But people start making conversation or whatever, and you don't hold back. We're Niner fans. So there were a lot of Seattle fans that after every play or after every drive or after every score, hey, bang, bang, Niner gang.
Right.
Hey, bang, bang, Niner gang. How you guys doing? Whatever, dude. Whatever. Just keep drinking. You're drunk. It's your year. Say what you want to say. I don't know. I'm not. I don't like the Seahawks or the Rams in the Super Bowl. I don't care what building it's in. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. It has nothing to do with the 49ers, where the Super Bowl is.
Agreed. And I think that I would feel differently if Levi's had become some sort of a hallowed, this is our place sort of a venue. But, they've had good games there. They've had good wins there, but it's never felt totally, and maybe it's because I'm, a North Bay guy and I grew up going to the Stick, but something about Levi's, it's yet to really grab my soul. You know what I mean? And, Chase Center is a little bit different because the Warriors went to Chase and then they've won there. So now Chase feels a little bit okay, Chase Center, right? You won a title there. But for me, it's always going to be the old Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum Arena, a.k.a. Oracle. That to me is where the real Warrior soul resides. And, the Giants were able to get, 3 of them here at Pac Bell, SBC. I don't even know what it was when they won there. I don't think it was Oracle Park yet.
It was not Oracle Park.
It was
AT&T.
It was AT&T already?
For all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was Pac Bell, it was SBC.
Pac Bell was when it was opened. SBC was for a hot second.
Okay. And then AT&T.
And then AT&T.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even Candlestick became Monster Park at Candlestick Point. 3Com Park. All the rest of it. Yeah. But for me, it's not the name. It's about the building. And so, that building down there at 3rd and King, that feels like it has soul. I was there in 2010, 12, and 14. Levi's doesn't yet have that. So,
that's correct.
You're going to have the Super Bowl? Go ahead. Have the bowl.
So it doesn't bother you. Week 18, the Seahawks here at Levi's.
Yeah.
They win. They leave cigars in the visiting locker room knowing that they're going to come back and get them back when they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, again.
Does it bother you at all?
It bothers me if they weren't tampered with.
Oh.
Yes. Honestly, if that was going to happen, then you're going to leave those in my building? Well, and you know me, I love a grudge. Those things will get tampered with, we'll just say.
It's gross. That's gross if anybody smokes cigars that have been sitting there for 5 weeks. But anyway, my point is that I get where you're coming from, Grandy, but that's more about the game that the Niners lost that day. The Niners were involved in that.
Yeah, they had to beat you twice to do what they're going to do in your building. That's the worst thing for a fan.
Again, the Super Bowl is have you been to one before, Grandy?
Not to a Super Bowl.
It's a sterile environment.
Yeah, very corporate.
Yeah, it's not. That's not going to be Levi Stadium. That's just going to be. It's kind of like when, boy, I don't want to get morbid here, but you know when a soul leaves a body?
Oh, boy.
No, it's different. It's different. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a viewing.
We're talking about rigor mortis.
It's just, that's what this is. This is not the 49ers' home that day. The game you're talking about is bothersome because you had a chance at the 1 seed. You had the game at home. You scored 3 points. That sucks. They came into your building and beat you. The fact that they have ended up in the Super Bowl and that happens to also be in your stadium,
right?
That is a corporate financial decision made 5 years ago when, like, that decision was made when Brock Purdy wasn't even in the NFL.
I don't care how it came to be. It's just the fact that they could be celebrating, in my opinion, my biggest rival could be celebrating a Super Bowl championship on my team's field.
Yeah.
In my team's locker room.
Again, that only bothers me if they beat you.
And it's the visiting locker room.
They beat you twice to do it. Well, I don't know. The Seahawks might be the home team.
I'm sorry. I apologize. It just does not do anything to me.
They are the road team?
Yep, the road
team. Yeah, it does not do anything to me. It did, like, the fact that the game is at Levi's.
That's shocking to me.
Because, honestly, the way I look at it, Mark, that day, it's not the Niners' home. It's the NFL's home. It's where that game happens to be.
What if the World Series was held like the Super Bowl is, and it just so happened that the Dodgers made the World Series, and it happened to be that year at Oracle Park?
Oh.
We're in the freaking bank.
Look at me, Grandy. Huh? I brought it home right there.
Well, but it's different.
It's not different.
It is different.
It's actually
hell no.
No,
it's way worse.
It's different. Yes, that's what I'm agreeing with you. It's way worse.
Right.
That it's not a comp.
I just put that right on your doorstep.
No, but it's because of what you actually already said. That stadium has a soul. That stadium has a vibe. That stadium has a look. That stadium has a personality.
Right.
I don't want Freddie Freeman and Shohei hitting balls into the bag.
Splash hit.
But Levi's...
A walk-off splashy from Freddie?
Levi's is an oval the same way all the football stadiums are.
Well, they're actually rectangles, but I get it.
Well, I'm kind of an oval.
The field's
a rectangle. The stadium's an oval. Anyway, we're sponsored by Ceremony Ford. Ceremony Ford's got over 40 Explorers in stock. Ready to roll today. Get $2,500 back on every new 2026 Explorer in stock. Ceremony Ford off 280 in Colma, Daly City, or shop 24/7 at ceremonyford.com. Today, your trusted Bay Area Ford dealer. We're also brought to you by Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good. 888-957-9570. Does it bother you in some way that this game is at Levi Stadium? But I also want to read some of these Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line texts, because they're basically saying that is this a Purdy versus Darnold thing for some of you? Let me read some of these. Let's talk about this. Let's not run from it. It's Willard and Dibbs.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. How this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercial.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Swisey menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
The Carl's Jr. lawyers said we couldn't name our new burger the biggest burger for the smallest price burger. So we didn't. And that's called a loophole. The new Cali XL burger. A beefed up charbroiled double burger with double cheese, only $5.99. That's more meat, not more expensive. Get it now for a limited time only at Carl's Jr. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. Tax not included. Not valid for use within a combo or in combination with any other offer or discount.
Neuropathy is a debilitating condition that is sometimes misdiagnosed. Symptoms can include pain, numbness, and tingling in your hands, legs, and feet. Neuropathy is a progressive condition that only worsens unless you get effective treatment. SF Bay Wellness is a leader in neuropathy reversal and uses FDA-cleared, non-invasive electric cell therapy to restore nerve function with no injections, no drugs, and no surgery. The treatments have a 95% success rate. If distance is a factor, ask about our virtual consultation option. Call SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE for the $99 neuropathy evaluation and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Don't wait another day. Call 844-94-NERVE. That's 844-94-NERVE. Why keep suffering with the painful symptoms of neuropathy? You deserve to live a pain-free life. Start getting the treatment you need for your neuropathy symptoms. Call today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS, or go to carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker.
Yes.
Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
There's never been anything like this. Let's go.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Let's watch a movie.
And we have Netflix included to enjoy our favorite shows and movies.
¿Qué tal está? Bacanísima, pero ya la vi.
Now the hard part is getting them to agree on a movie.
Switch today and get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI, all on America's best network. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile.
Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla. Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. Receive Netflix standard with ads on us with qualifying plans.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios.
I'm a complete and total fool. I am a complete and total idiot. My God, I'm an idiot.
Now, back to
Will and Dibby
on 95.7 The Game.
So if you're just joining us.
That was by request, by the way.
Which, that rejoin?
Yes, on the YouTube feed. I saw that, Grandy.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Who's not an idiot? Who's not a fool?
I mean, hello?
The lovely Christy and I just went.
You know what? That is a great point.
We just went to Vegas, and she kept saying, we're cruising around in Ubers and stuff like that. She's looking at the size of the buildings and then the casinos and everything. I don't know why. It's not like the first time we've been to Vegas, but it just hit her this way this weekend. She kept going, do you realize how many people need to come here in order to make this all work? Like the investment, like these, it's just so large. It's so kind of over the top. It's so excessive, right? The buildings and everything going on in it. And if you haven't been to Vegas in a few years, you know, like everything, every piece of space that's not a hotel and a casino is turned into a mall. And, you know what I mean? Like we drove by, that's, have you heard this Taco Bell Cantina? You seen this, Luke, right? Yep. And the Uber driver goes, do you know, because Christy goes, so sure, you can eat, it's Taco Bell, but you can also drink. And then the Uber driver goes, and you can also get married.
In the Taco Bell?
Taco Bell Cantina.
Perfect.
Wedding venue.
With this burrito grande, I thee wed.
I mean, I know a lot of people that actually would probably trade their spouse in for a burrito.
Do you take these nachos to have and to hold for 8 more minutes until the cheese congeals?
Exactly.
So help you God.
So, like, anyway, it made me think the reason it works, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, is Vegas the most visited city in the world? At least? Yeah.
And yet you go there and there are 80-story hotels surrounded by 60-story hotels, and you think, you know what? I'm going to be that one. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm that guy to go there.
Lucas wants to say something.
I got Vegas as the number 3 most visited city in America.
Really? What's 1 and 2?
New York City, number 1. Orlando, Florida, number 2.
I don't buy that.
I mean, Disney World.
Like, are we talking about in some sort of like per capita or just overall? You're telling
total
me
number of people visited.
More people go to Orlando than Vegas?
I'm looking at 70 million annually go to Orlando and 42 annually to Vegas.
I find that wildly hard to believe.
Not me.
I do.
Take it up with the internet.
Well, and think about like how many people who are under, 17 in this country. And if you are, for example, you're Mark Willard and you and the lovely Christy, you live in Roanoke, Virginia, and you've got, let's just say it was 4 years ago when your kids would have been, 15, 12, and 8. You're not going to Vegas. You're going to Epcot.
Well, maybe.
You're going to Disney World.
Maybe.
Lucas was using the AI version of Google search, so he's probably wrong.
Okay.
I don't
Possible
buy it.
flag on the play.
I have other internet answers here, and you're gonna like them even less, actually.
Oh, okay.
New York, number 1. Miami, Florida, number 2. LA, number 3. Orlando, number 4. Number 5, San Francisco.
Yeah, well,
number 6, Las Vegas.
And now I know you're full of it. You can't move Orlando from 2 to 3 and just be like, nope, I found it. No, that's not right. It can't be right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My point is, yes, we're all idiots. Me too. That was my point. That's it.
Yep. I mean,
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and so are these people. Check this out.
Yeah.
Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. No. I want to be, it's 2026, New Year's resolution. I want to be more open to other people's answers. I really do. Let me hear them. Do you feel this way, people?
Come on.
Is this how you feel? After watching the Seahawks play the Rams, what's the first thought that went through your mind? And in particular, let's be real, when the Rams are going up and down the field. The Rams, Matt Stafford's got time to throw. Matt Stafford's delivering throws.
He threw for 374.
374. That's like 18 games worth for the 49ers playing the Seahawks.
Brock Purdy.
Okay, let's talk about Brock Purdy. All right.
He's no Stafford.
Let's see. Here it is. This comes from 307 area code. Thank you so much for listening and texting. It's really, really cool, honestly. Only thing I can say about the Niners after watching Stafford put up his stats yesterday, the Niners have a QB issue. Purdy's arm just isn't that good. Those oh-no floating throws. I don't have much confidence in the Niners with Purdy at the helm, taking $50+ million of cap space and trying to find pieces through picks to try and help. Buy or sell?
I'll sell that, Mark.
Okay.
Because if you want to go back to the all-22, as I have from the divisional game, go ahead and look at who's open and how much they're open by. And if they're open, what's Brock Purdy doing? First of all, they're not open. Second of all, if they are open, he is already under siege. And so all of his floating throws, and I agree with that part of it, he doesn't throw a super fast, tight ball, but it doesn't matter when he has time and he layers the ball over the linebacker and in front of the safety. We all talk about, oh, what a great touch he put on that ball. The reality for me is what you saw yesterday. And Puka and Devontae, 13 catches, 254, and 2 touchdowns combined. 13, 254, and 2. And the Niners, in their game against Seattle, they had, 3 catches to receivers?
All right. What if I said it this way, though? What if the Niners, in their 3 games against Seattle this year, had Purdy, had the exact same offensive line, they had McCaffrey, and they had Puka and Devontae? How different is it?
A little bit different.
Okay.
I don't think it's a lot different. I do think it's different.
What if they had exactly what they do have, but instead of Purdy, they had Darnold?
Well, I was thinking even Stafford. Like, if they had Stafford instead of Purdy, it probably looks a little bit better. But, I mean, again, the bigger issue is, like, if you had Stafford and Jawan and a broken Pearsall and DeMarcus, well, it doesn't matter. The reason why the Rams were able to do what they did last time and what they did this time is their quarterback is able to get the ball out. Their O-line protected him. He got sacked once, and they have 2 receivers who get open.
Okay. What if they had the exact same thing, but they had the Rams' offensive line? Now what are we doing?
It looks better. It looks better, but I still don't think that Brock Purdy is able to do what Matthew did because, like, Ricky was whatever percent of Ricky Pearsall. He was only a percent of himself. That's a 1. It's early. It's Monday. And, Jawan is a guy running a 4.8 or a 4.9 40. He's not going to be somebody who can burst and get open. So it's everything you talked about. It's the O-line. It's the receivers. It's kind of the quarterback. But it's also the scheme. They don't just go back there and, sling it like the Rams did.
There's also 2 different things of saying Purdy is not Stafford and then saying Purdy is the problem. The texter I read is not alone. 408, you got a noodle arm QB. 925, the lid on offense is Brock Purdy's arm, not speed. Listen, I think a lot of you think this. And if your point is Brock Purdy can't throw a ball as hard as Sam Darnold or Matt Stafford, you're right. We've known that for a while. If your point is that Brock Purdy cannot conduct good offense, boy, I got a lot of tape to show you. A lot of tape to show you. Just a ton of tape to show you. So, but let's have the conversation. Did you come out of yesterday with the Niners have a Purdy problem? Are we back here again? Is that where we are?
I mean, you can be there, but for me, I'm a little bit more in line with what you're saying. Like, if you want to talk about the problems with the offense that Seattle shined a light on, it's the O-line, it's the receivers, and then maybe you get to Purdy eventually, but I wouldn't even get to Purdy because if you have time and if you can run the offense that suits him, he's fine. He's shown that.
I think it's odd to look at the 49ers. Look, if your point is his arm is not as strong as others, we knew that. If your point is the Niners can't win with him at the quarterback, I don't know what evidence you're waiting for, but let's have the conversation. Do the Niners have a Purdy problem? Do they have a receiver problem? Do they have an O-line problem? First and foremost, after watching what we watched the Rams do to the Seahawks yesterday, even though they lost, I know they lost, but the offense moved the ball. We're sponsored by Surfside. The Golden State Warriors are back. Cheer on your Dubs with an ice-cold Surfside, only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, 0 bubbles, so it is easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, proud partner of the Golden State Warriors. Got to be 21. Please drink responsibly. Your phone calls next, 888-957-9570. And also, right around the corner, got to hear the analytics conversation that is developing throughout the media today with regard to going for threes, going for twos, going for it on fourth down. 888-957-957 is the number. It's Willard and Dibs.
Come on, kids. We're almost there. The map says straight ahead.
One-a-day 50-plus multivitamins are made for your overall health with nutrients to support your brain and muscle function. Because don't you want to make the most of each day? So even on the family hike, you're not just keeping the pace.
Hey, Dad, wait up.
You're one step ahead. One-a-day 50-plus. The one for you. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom,
think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill to see the full selection of Thermador appliances. Thermador provides a range of possibilities, from refrigeration to dishwashers or cooking with steam or convection. Come into Friedman's Appliance, and right now, you can receive up to 3 complimentary gifts with qualifying purchase. See all Thermador appliances displayed beautifully in live working vignettes at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and at friedmansappliance.com.
Hey, it's Willard. You ever study the coaches who win relentlessly? The legends, the dynasties, they're systematic warriors, disciplined, obsessive. They outwork, outthink, and outlast everybody for pure domination. That's Omar Habas, Tarek Habas, and the Habas Law team. When Habas Law goes up against big insurance companies, they grind them to a dust. Habas Law knows every inch of the Bay Area legal playing field, and nothing catches them off guard. If you've been injured and you want to win, visit habaslaw.com. Habas Law, they fight to make it right. Habas and Associates, with offices throughout Northern California, including San Jose.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's your boy Guru, and you know the big game is almost here, and there's nothing better to cash in during America's biggest sporting event with Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is available in California. I downloaded the app, and I've been playing ever since. New feature alert, my favorite, Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use my code GURU957 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code GURU957 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Bulk up your meals with staple proteins at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off air-chilled boneless, skinless chicken breast with Prime through January 27th. As always, there are no antibiotics ever. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Lowe's knows how to turn big plans into real results. Whether it's new appliances or a home refresh, get started with 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more with a MyLowe's Rewards credit card, January 15th through the 30th, so you can invest in your upgrade now and pay over time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payment required. See store or Lowe's.com for details.
Oh, no. What happened here?
Now, back to
Dillard and Wibbs
on 95.7 The Game.
Let's see, 707. Whoever thinks Purdy's the problem rode the short yellow bus. I mean...
Nope, we're not doing that.
No, let's not do that. But there's some disagreement there.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah. Look at the wide receiver room on all four teams that played this weekend. I don't know. Actually, that's interesting. When I watched the AFC game, I'm not overwhelmed by any of the receivers on those two teams. Courtland Sutton's fine. Stephon Diggs is dating Cardi B. I don't know what to say about Stephon Diggs. Off and on, very productive receiver in the league who also has proven to be a problem sometimes.
Can be, yeah.
And is under major investigation right now, by the way, as well.
Right, and it's hard to look at the AFC game and really make much of a judgment after halftime. And, Mac Hollins had 2 catches and Diggs had 5. 5 catches for 17 yards. Okay, 5 grabs. That's great.
Yeah.
17 yards.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. And so, yeah, you look at Drake May, 86 yards passing, and it wasn't only in the snow in the second half. They just didn't really throw it. And they probably won't again in the Super Bowl because, their offense is not built on that.
Okay, so here's another one. Different 707. How do you like this idea? Trade Purdy to the Jets for the number 2 overall pick, draft Reese, and extend Mac Jones to be the guy. Okay. I give Kyle Shanahan 2 years before being fired if that were to happen. 2 years max.
I mean, Brock Purdy on the Jets? Yikes. Good luck, Brock. That team is in disarray.
Yeah, can I say this real quick? For those of you who, and again, then we're going to go to the phones. I really think the gravy train sort of thing about Sam Darnold once upon a time being a 49er quarterback, right? He was Brock Purdy's backup. He credits Purdy with a lot of making him a better quarterback. He's said this multiple times. But at the same time, Sam Darnold was brought here to be a backup. If you really want to know who yesterday was an indictment of with regard to Sam Darnold, it's 2 NFL franchises, and the Niners aren't one of them. It's the New York Jets who drafted him and supposedly put all their resources into him. Number 3 overall pick, yet could not develop him in any way, shape, or form. Gave up on him. Thought, you know what, he's actually not a good player. And now he has basically been a double-digit win quarterback for 2 different franchises.
Yeah, back-to-back.
And the second franchise that should be embarrassed is probably the team he was with last year, because they let him out the building without knowing if they had a good quarterback. And it turns out, in looking at their young player, right now it looks like they don't. So those are the 2 teams to me that should be way, way more sort of in what-if mode about Sam Darnold than the 49ers or the Panthers or any of those teams that had him there as just this sort of whatever other backup option because they thought, yeah, he might be nice if we get into a pinch.
Yeah, and I mean, you had him with the Jets, and if you want to look at that team, and I'm just looking at it right now because I was trying to remember how bad it was. They were 2-14 in his 3rd and final year there. Their leading rusher, I could give you 100 guesses, and you probably would never guess Frank Gore was the Jets' leading rusher that year.
Oh, God.
The Frank Gore.
That guy.
37-year-old.
I barely even remember him on that team.
I don't remember it.
I mean, I do now. Yeah, now that you say it, I do.
He ran for 653. He played 15 games because that's what Frank does. 37-year-old Frank Gore.
Yep. He
goes for 653. And your receivers were Jamison Crowder, and you had Braxton Berrios, Brashad Perriman. Don't pay the Perriman. They had no talent. So, yeah, Darnold was bad. They were bad, 2-14. And this is what I always talk about whenever we want to look at a quarterback. And yes, Mac Jones included. So Mac Jones goes 5-3 as the Niners backup. And if you want to go out there and acquire Mac Jones, and hopefully you do, then you bring him in. Mac Jones will either be this good with a good team and a good coach, or he'll be as bad as you are with a bad team and a bad coach. All these quarterbacks are so reliant on what they have, Brock Purdy included. And I know that, you want to look at Brock Purdy and the fact that he doesn't really rip it. He kind of feathers the ball, whatever. He's won here. He's done well here. They've gone deep here. If he is a New Orleans Saint, for example, and he's like battling with, the various guys that they have who are not very good, including the Rat, if he wins that battle, he probably doesn't go 12-5 in New Orleans.
Wouldn't think so.
Because they're not very good.
No, he wouldn't go 12-5 in New Orleans. Of course not. No.
Shuck.
It's interesting. He's actually he's an interesting rookie.
He's fine.
He's an interesting rookie. But anyway, point is, I thought this year was actually pretty good advertisement for Brock Purdy. In the end of it, I thought it was a very good advertisement for Brock Purdy. I know that he missed 8 games. I understand that. I know that he had some high-profile games that didn't necessarily go the Niners' way. On the other hand, he did finish the year as the second-rated quarterback in the NFL, and he did so I thought he busted the whole what is he without the Avengers? Well, how are we doing now? Because he statistically played really well. He played really well in the standings, right? I believe that his record was 7-2 in the regular season and then 1-1 in the playoffs. He won a road playoff game, and he did all of this while all of us are sitting here saying the Niners don't have a receiving core. And he still put up numbers.
Yeah, against the vaunted defenses of Tennessee.
That's fair. That's fair.
Indy, who was already beleaguered and broken. But, I'm not going to schedule Sam your point because I'm with you on your point. But everything for me is so contextual. And yes, he played better than what people want to give him credit for. And you go up against Seattle, and the problem for me was not Brock or the receivers as much as it was the O-line. You couldn't run it, and if Shanahan's offense can't run it, you're screwed.
We're going to go to the phones here just a sec. 888-957-9570. But Grandy's got a Warriors injury update on tonight's game, which starts in 3 hours. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we already knew no D'Anthony Melton, no Al Horford. They're not playing in back-to-backs. They both played yesterday. Also, we knew no Kuminga, still out with that knee issue with that hyperextension in the Dallas game. We just got word, though, no Steph and no Draymond tonight. They're also both sitting out tonight in Minnesota. So no Steph, no Draymond, no Kuminga, no Al, and no Melton. And no Seth Curry.
I was going to say, how about Seth?
No, he's still out.
How about Eddie Curry?
I think he's retired, but I'll double-check on that for you. No, he's going to be wherever Charlotte is, Dibs.
Sonia Curry?
No.
Pad Thai Curry? Can we get a Curry?
Maybe on the menu. I don't know.
Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because who could have seen this coming?
Well, everyone.
Right, and I just wonder about, and I will never be able to find out for fact, but once Steph is out, how fast does Draymond run in and say, ow!
What do you think Draymond is listed out as with? What is the injury that they have listed on the injury report? Because you have to list something.
You got to list some. I'll say back.
I'll say Steph isn't playing. Disorder.
Draymond Green is listed as out with left low back soreness.
Hey, what'd I win?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Congrats.
Thanks.
LLB. Left lower back. Soreness.
You sounded like
LL Bean,
You sounded like Richard Sherman when you said that. Remember when he was yelling at
LLB.
Yeah.
LLB.
Mediocre receiver. LLB.
Left lower back. LLB.
Yep.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it.
So, we could play guess that lineup.
Oh, hey, did that just happen? Or did that just happen?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back on YouTube. God, you're a handsome man. Look at you.
Growing the beard out.
Yeah, I can tell. You look you're distinguished.
Thank you.
You look rested.
Little Santa-ish with those extra pounds.
Well, do you have extra pounds?
Sure, why not?
You have a big hoodie on today, so I couldn't tell. You look great.
I'm waiting for the next weight loss endorsement, and then I can shed them all again real quick.
Brother, I ate a lot of fried food this weekend.
I bet. Man,
even the vegetables were fried this weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Do the damn thing when we're in town. All right. Anyway, we're back on YouTube.
Yeah, come on in.
Because YouTube is I don't know if y'all know this, it is a video-based platform. So, by the way, special shout to all of you absolute maniacal crazy people who have been watching us for the last couple hours without video, just audio. You are hanging on by a very thin thread.
Some crazy people now.
But I dig that about you.
Love them.
We love all of you. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you. You watched a show that wasn't on. That's really impressive.
It's like the people.
I see you, San Jose Jazz.
Like,
you're a crazy person. You know that now.
Back in the day when you would like watch a local channel and then they would go off the air for the night and it would just be the national anthem with a picture of the American flag. Dun, 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 dun. And you just sit there and you're watching it.
Did I ever tell you the story?
Those are those people.
Did I ever tell you the story? And I will leave his name out to protect the guilty.
John Bloom.
So we're over at his house.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
About 7 of us over at his house on like a Saturday night. Nobody's home. We all sit down in front of the TV, and we maybe have, we might have partaken in some activities.
You know what that is, right? It's an inebriation sensation.
No, go a little
higher?
Yeah, a little higher is a good word. That's right, yeah.
It was an inhalation sensation.
Go higher, baby. Go higher, baby.
Thank you.
So,
and don't ever calm down.
His dad, may he rest in peace. We just lost him last week.
Okay.
How high are you right now?
He came home. And he comes in because he had probably actually been a little inebriation sensation.
Okay.
He's all happy.
Sorry, Grandy.
There's like 7 of us sitting there. He's all, hey, how you guys all doing? And everybody's like, whoa.
Right?
Bring the volume down. And he turns around, and we're all sitting on the couch watching the TV. Here's the problem. Nobody ever turned it on.
Oh, boy.
So he looks at the TV, and it's just off. And he's like, what are you all watching? And we're like,
Petticoat Junction?
So that's what you YouTubers have been doing for the last 2 hours.
Yep.
Somebody should come home and be like, honey, what are you watching right now? It's not on. So all of you.
Thank you for being so high.
You're all high. Thank you very much for listening to the show while high. We love you for it. Let's go to Dave in the city. Hi, Dave. Thank you for calling Willie and Debbie.
Hey, what's up, guys? I honestly think the Niners really got to approach this offseason and get bigger and faster. We're going to move off that BA contract, and then Juwan is a free agent. I say you let Juwan walk, go get Kyle Pitts, because we're going to not have Kittle, and that money that we could have paid BA and Jennings was going to basically make up for Kyle Pitts, and then we need to go get Denzel Boston out of Washington, have another big wide receiver on the outside that could actually run and address the defensive line and O-line the rest of the drafts. So that's my take.
Okay, so Dave, thanks. I got, those are not bad thoughts at all. I got a little bit of a different, and this is the beauty of like when we get to draft season, the off season, maybe a little bit of a different philosophy on that. I don't want the Niners to go all in on a wide receiver in the draft. I really don't. I don't want them to use a high pick on a wide receiver, because even the high pick wide receivers usually, sometimes they don't, but they usually take a minute. Wide receiver is not a great rookie. I know you're all going to come up with, well, but Puka.
Light McConkey.
Not always. Not always. Usually it takes a minute for wide receivers, and I would like the Niners to get help right now. I would rather see them, A, get healthy at wide receiver, B, do something in kind of the B level range in free agency, that kind of Christian Kirk level, not an A player, not someone who's going to ask for $30 million a year, but a good player you could bring in, couple years, $25 million, whatever, but be a professional. Be someone that you can rely on at the wide receiver position. And at tight end, that's where I might look to draft someone, number one. If you want the big ticket out on the market, whether it's free agency or trade name, that I would be obsessed with if I were a 49er fan, and I am, it's Max Crosby. If you could circle one player that's a proven player and you could find a way to make him a Niner, that's my guy, Max Crosby.
It'd be great. I mean, that would be a perfect edge opposite Nick. And, depending on, how quickly Nick comes back off a third ACL and how good he's actually going to be, you need help there. You need help in the interior. You definitely need a wide receiver of some sort, and you need a tight end. And, it's not just because George will be out until whatever, September, October, who knows when George comes back, but he's getting up there. And, we've learned from Shanahan's offense that even if you don't have Christian McCaffrey, you can still do well on the ground. So I wouldn't think about a free agent running back or even a drafted running back. If I'm looking at needs, I'm looking at edge rusher, center, guard, tight end.
I'm so with you.
Cornerback. How about a nice, tall, big corner? Because Upton Stout's a great corner, but he's not 6'3", 6'4". Right. And you look at who you have to stop. You got to stop Puka, and you got to stop JSN. And these are physical, good, bigger receivers.
Well, and I love Lenore, but Renardo Green did not have a great year. And so it does feel a little bit thin back there. I can see them addressing that in the draft. Youth at the corner position sometimes does take a minute as well, but I think they can be well served there. But I'm with you. The majority of what you just said was, I need the big people who start with a hand on the ground.
Yep.
That's who you need. That's where this team, sure, do they need to do something at wide receiver? Of course they do. Of course they do. But this offseason, to me, is inside out, not outside in.
Right, and if you think about, the good defense has gone by, you remember people like DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead, guys who played inside, who were good. DeForest Buckner, when he was here, he was a monster.
Yep.
And if you have somebody who's a threat in the inside of your defensive line, then Nick Bosa has a better chance to eat. And, think about Mykel Williams coming back. If you got Mykel and another guy inside, and you've got Nick on the outside, and Fred is back, all of a sudden now, even if you don't upgrade the corners, they're going to be better. It's what you said last week about, these poor corners who you had no pass rush. You had 20 sacks all year. How are they supposed to cover? They can't.
A lot of people bringing up Tyler Linderbaum. Free agent center, Baltimore Ravens,
I like the player.
25 years old.
I like the player. He's really good at hiking the ball.
Right.
Just stupid.
No, he's a Pro Bowler. I don't know if that matters anymore because who the hell isn't? But he's a
Shedeur Sanders. I'll save it for Friday.
Shedeur.
No, good for Shedeur.
Yeah, good for Shedeur.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pro Bowler.
No, he threw at least 5 touchdown passes this year.
Right.
So, yeah.
It reminds me of a local election where it's okay, the school board, choose 4. And you look at the ballot, and there are only 4 people on there. So you either vote for all 4, or you write in some cockamamie name of nobody who exists. That's the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I shorted him, too. He had 7.
Touchdown passes?
7 touchdown passes.
How many picks?
Hang on, I have to sneeze.
Oh my goodness! Hold on, I have to sneeze.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry for
I had to
asking you a
sneeze. I
question.
really couldn't. I couldn't hold it.
That was good.
Usually you could hold it, but I had to sneeze.
You know how you can block a sneeze, right?
What is going on here?
You squeeze your nose.
No. You press right underneath the middle of your nostrils.
Why?
Why does it work?
Well, yeah.
I don't know, but it works.
Are you sure? Or does it only work for you?
Mark, I've been sneezing since you were not even an apple in your parents' eye.
Have you watched other people do that?
I've never seen other people try it.
Okay, then you don't know if it works. It works for you.
It works. Nick.
Stop, Grandy.
Fitz, you had a 5-day weekend.
The other
For the love of God.
The other shows weren't even on.
Exactly.
Who cares? We can do whatever we want.
We could sneeze for 4 hours and do better than they did. It was dead air.
I tell you, we're back on YouTube.
Let's go to the phones.
YouTube got to see me sneeze. Yeah. Got the whole...
For the love of God.
Let's go to Pete.
For the love of God.
All right.
Thank you.
Pete.
God.
Hello, Pete. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to quarterbacks, but the comedy portion of the call is when I get the left lower back aches and pains, I take cranberry juice because that's kidney stones.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
This call got really weird really fast, Pete. Go ahead.
Thank you.
All right.
The serious part of this call now is that the Niners do not have a quarterback problem, and they will not until they come up against what to do about Mac Jones. As long as they got Jones and Purdy, there's nothing to even worry about, discuss. They need football players all over the team. They don't need a quarterback right now. There you go.
Hey, Pete.
Have a great evening.
You want the Niners to trade Mac Jones or keep him?
I want to keep him.
Yeah.
He's fine.
I'm with you. Pete, thanks. That's going to be, let me forward promote a little bit. Off and on over the next 3 months, that's going to be a conversation. Keep or trade Mac Jones.
Yeah, and we can get into it. I mean, you're keep, I'm trade.
You're trading?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm trading, but as long as you get more than a third.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, what's your number? You're not just trading for anything.
No. I mean, you're going to trade him for what he's worth, and I do think that if you keep him and then he signs elsewhere, you get a third-round comp pick, if I'm not mistaken, after next year.
After next year.
So for me, that's where the bar is. You're not going to trade him for a song or, a fourth and a seventh or whatever, or a bottle of cranberry juice.
I'm not a GM, but I would be surprised. I really would if somebody's going to give you their 2 for Mac. I really would be surprised.
That depends. Depends on the team, and we can go around the league, and now's not the day to do that.
No.
There are teams that if they got Mac Jones right now, he would be the best quarterback they have.
Well, sure. There's always teams that have crappy quarterback situations. Yep. But the question is whether or not they see that as the fix going forward. And I don't know. I mean, I know that this system has done quarterback rehab before.
Yep.
I don't know if you heard the news, but 13 days from now, somebody's going to play in the Super Bowl who went to Kyle Shanahan's quarterback rehab school.
Exactly.
So,
and I think that makes Mac more attractive.
Maybe. I don't think he's unattractive. I just think people are going to really hesitate to give up their 2. That's a big pick.
I mean,
it's a big draft pick.
Depending on where you are, but also, Sam Darnold went from here to Minnesota, and now he's going to be starting in the big game down there in Levi.
But all you had to give up for him at that time was a few bucks. You didn't have to give up
$100 million, but yeah.
No. The Vikings. The Vikings got him for $10 million. You don't have to give up a pick. Seattle didn't have to give up a pick.
They had to give up Geno Smith.
They were fine with that. Yeah. The Warriors are in Minnesota. Tip-off is set for 6:30. Warriors live starts at 5:30. There will actually be Warriors in the game. Just not Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, Jonathan, Melton, and Al. But there will be other people. Don't worry about it. It's presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. We're also brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good. 888-957-9570, the number. Cam Inman's going to join us for a little offseason Niner preview coming up at about 5 o'clock. We already mentioned Warriors Live at 5:30. And in the 4 o'clock hour, coming up really soon, Grandy's season-long grades. For the 49ers. We haven't been able to do that yet. We didn't do it last year. Yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so stay right where you are. We'll keep going with your calls on Willard and Dibs. Hey, it's Willard and Dibs for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers from Safeway. Just clip the highlighted deals from the weekly mailer or click the deals in the For You section of the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Buy one, get one free. Foster Farms Simply Raised boneless, skinless chicken breast. Thin sliced or tenders. When you buy 2, it's kind of like radio hosts. Buy one, get one.
And here he is, and you can mix and match 1 pound strawberries or 6-ounce blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries for just $2.99 each when you buy 3, and mix and match Lucerne flavored creamer or cottage cheese, Dan and Greek yogurt, Yoplait fridge pack, Mountain High yogurt, and Yakult probiotic drinks. Selected sizes and varieties, like us, just $2.99 each when you buy 2.
Wonderful job. Safeway makes it easy for you to save money on the items you already buy, so that's perfect. Go to Safeway.com for more details, and we will see you in the aisles.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanitas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 new lines, and 4 eligible trade-ins. For well-qualified customers with auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement required.
When back to the office means back to Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker.
Yes.
Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
Oh! There's never been anything like this. Let's go.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
That's the sound of James.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This call got really weird really fast, Pete.
Thank you.
Now, back to
Will and Dibby
on 95.7 The Game.
Kyle Shanahan hurts his players. Duh.
Yep.
Hello? I mean,
obviously, there's
I tried to tell you that years ago.
What the hell else could it be? Quarterback power, practicing all day.
Yep.
Gotta be delicate with those calves.
Doesn't give anybody a break.
Possibly.
He's too, nose to the grindstone. He's too hard on the players.
You're welcome.
Am I supposed to correct you? I mean,
no, you don't have to.
Definitely is maybe at least a piece of it.
Well,
I was talking to a mutual friend yesterday at the farmer's market. And
a mutual friend of who?
Of ours.
Oh.
He's been a guest on the show. He's somebody that he has a Substack, and we've had him on the show.
Oh.
He's got 3 names, and he is very, very intelligent. So we're strolling between the flower guy and the produce guy, heading toward the burrito tent on our way past the chicken man and the kettle corn guy. And he said, Dibs, what's up with these injuries? What do you think?
Yeah.
He said, and I said, well, you tell me, smarty pants, is it that substation? Bum, bum, bum. And he said, well, I haven't done the research to debunk it, but it doesn't seem likely. And he said, what is it? I said, it's probably one of 6 things, and all things are equally true.
One of 6, okay. What are your 6?
They bring in a lot of guys who have been hurt before.
Sure.
And then they get hurt again. They get re-hurt. B, he goes hard on Thursdays. Everyone said that they practice harder on Thursdays than any other team. C, the training and medical team maybe aren't the best in the business. And again, that's just a theory. D, that damn substation and all of the voodoo that's going on with that, right?
Yep.
And, part of it I do think is just it's buzzard's luck, as Boach would say.
Is that E, buzzard's luck?
That would be E.
Okay,
and
what's F?
There's an F somewhere in there. I don't, maybe it was only 5 different things, but we talked about it, Ethan and I, and I probably shouldn't have said his name.
No, I got it.
Sherwood Strauss.
I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Hi, Ethan.
Friend of the program. Great guy.
Yeah.
But he was honestly like looking at it from his super intellectual standpoint, and I was like, I don't really know. It's probably all of the things collectively all at once.
Oh, it's definitely that Kyle goes too hard in practice.
That is part of it.
Well, Dre Greenlaw disagrees.
They're just two different personality coaches. Sean's old school. You're going to do 6 days on, 1 day off. And, he got his way of doing things. You're going to be practicing 3 hours on Wednesday, 3 hours on Friday. And, Shanahan, he's complete opposite. He's more of he wants you fresh. You know what I mean? It's just two completely different mindsets. And they both have their way of doing things. And it's for good reasons, too.
Okay. There's Dre Greenlaw. He's now a Bronco. And he says Sean Payton goes hard 6 days a week. It's the complete opposite of what Kyle Shanahan does. He does the let's try to keep you fresh angle.
Greenlaw as a Niner hurt. Greenlaw as a Bronco
hurt.
Well, mostly healthy, but he was hurt a little bit.
He
was still hurt. He probably played 10 games? 9 or 10?
Greenlaw. I don't know. I feel like he missed.
Feels like he missed
a
stretch. Yep.
How many of those games missed were because of the injury he suffered while he was still a Niner?
That's what I'm talking about,
Grandy. That's a good question. At the same time, the injury we're talking about is 2 years ago.
The season started a year and a half, but yeah.
Well, the injury happened at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl. The injury happened 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, the games he missed, though, happened not today.
Understood. But, we're talking, okay, fair enough. But, an Achilles injury does not take 20 months to heal. Dre came back, re-injured himself in a number of ways as a Niner, and then re-injured himself a bunch as a Bronco. He played 8 games. He missed more than half the season this year.
Well, let me try this again then. Shanahan goes too easy on his guys. Either way you want to slice it, it's Shanahan. He's a part of it.
He's the coach of the team.
Right, and they've been the most injured team or one of the most injured teams the majority of the time he's been there.
Majority of the time.
Right.
But not always.
Yeah.
Not always.
So,
look, I've said this 1,000 times. I cannot come with the hammer, but I'm also not going to be the nail. I have no idea. I have no idea what it is. I have not heard one consistent, credible idea from NFL circles / doctors, also knowing that this is a multi-billion-dollar organization that puts millions upon millions of dollars into getting this right. And they haven't yet. Now, what was it? Grandy, maybe you remember this. Wasn't there a poll done recently? And it's that anonymous players union thing. And all the teams get grades. And they get grades. And Grandy, you're Mr. Grades over here. So, the team gets grades for all the different aspects of the team. It can be, the way they treat families and the way that ownership and blah, blah, blah. And the Niners graded out really, really well across the NFL. The one thing that was a little bit less than stellar, I want to say the grade came in as a B-, was the training staff. It's training staff.
I'm looking at it right now. So they have treatment of families, food or dining area, nutrition, nutritionist / dietitian, locker room, training staff, weight room, and strength coaches.
Okay.
The Niners' worst grade was a couple of B-, and it was both the training room and the training staff.
Okay. I don't know what you put into that, but I just haven't heard anything yet that everybody seems to agree on. I've heard tons of scientists on social media say that this plant next door, there's a big bunch of hooey. So I can't debunk it. I'm not a scientist. They have.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Kyle goes too hard. I don't know. Dre Greenlaw says Sean Payton goes way, way harder. Is it the age of the players? I don't know.
That's part of it.
They had a bunch of young players. Michael Williams tore his ACL.
And the injury history, I do think, is part of it.
Well,
and they've had a long history of drafting guys who have torn ACLs.
But I also, I always think to myself, whenever you say, boy, they've drafted people who have had injuries before, I sort of go I think most people have had injuries of some sort before.
I'm talking about the catastrophic ones, the torn ACL.
But you mentioned just a few minutes ago, what's Frank Gore in his NFL career known for? What's he known for?
Durability.
Durability. What happened to him in college?
His leg got ripped off.
He tore his ACL.
More than that.
Yeah.
It was multiple ligaments.
So
that man is...
I know, maybe that's a one-off. Maybe it's a one-off. I don't know.
You don't often see a 37-year-old running back, period, let alone a guy who leads his team in rushing.
37 years old?
He led the Jets in rushing. They were
ridiculous.
2-14, and he toted it 170-something times for 650 yards for a team that stunk. And, 37, give me the ball. I'm into this. This is fun. We lose, but I'm going to get 3 yards no matter what.
By the way, this report card, it's from the NFL Players Association that comes out every offseason. The Niners B- for training staff ranks 25th in the NFL, and B- for training room ranks 21st in the NFL.
Yeah.
According to all the other grades.
If I'm Jed York, that would bother me. I don't like that. I don't like those grades. I love all the other stuff, but that's kind of what makes it even worse. It's like if you're going to be an A-level organization in all of these things, if you're going to treat the families great, if you're going to have the food, if you're going to have the coaching staff, if you're going to roll out the red carpet and be as classy of an organization as the 49ers tend to be and certainly attempt to be, then that would bother me if that's how players felt about something that important.
Exactly. In football, it's maybe the most important thing.
I mean, you can make the argument.
So
for sure,
you get hurt and you go in the training room and you open the door and there's somebody in there on their phone. It's like, man, I rolled my ankle real bad. Ice is over there, if we have any. I mean, we were out earlier. Hold on, I'm playing Candy Crush. I got to finish this level.
I mean, even from a facility standpoint, where do the Niners rank in terms of the Forbes NFL valuations? Probably behind the Cowboys, maybe behind the New York Giants.
I was thinking Patriots maybe, but they're probably top 5, right?
You know what I mean? I'll pull that up. That's pretty, but they're definitely top 5. Well, what are you doing with B- training room?
Right.
Staff, I get it. Okay, you make a hire, maybe this person, whatever, that guy didn't like this guy over here. What are you doing with not having in Silicon Valley, not having the absolute most amazeballs training room in the game?
Especially when year after year you are top 3 or top 5 in injured players, in top 5 in games lost due to injury. So if that is your track record, and it's unfortunate if that is what is going to happen, and it seems like that's happened to this team in the Shanahan era, well, if that's the reality, then let's go ahead and have an A++ training facility, knowing full well that half the team's going to be in there because they always get hurt.
Cowboys number 1, Rams number 2, Giants number 3, Patriots number 4.
Oh, look at me.
49ers number 5. That's your Forbes valuations.
Right.
Which I've learned, by the way, however many billion they say they're worth more.
And pump it up. Yep.
They're worth more.
Another 50% on top of that.
For sure.
But it doesn't even matter what the number is. If they are a top 5 valued franchise and you're also top 5 in games lost due to injury, then you should be a top 1 team in terms of treatment and trainers and doctors and weight room and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, these are people's opinions, and it's a collective, and so there might be plenty of people who are like, no, it is A level, but I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of votes.
Yep.
And those are the 2 lowest grades that the entire organization from top to bottom got. So that would, if I were Jed York, I would just say I would look at that. I would spend more time on that than some study on the plant next door. I can tell you that.
Right. And I also would spend some time on creating or erecting something to block the sun from the sunny side of the field.
That too.
Like go ahead and throw up a 100-foot screen. That way, maybe it's retractable, so when it's a night game, you don't have to put it up. But
something.
Yeah, fans don't want to be over there in like September and October. You bake.
I mean, and some people enjoy that.
Baking?
Usually in the morning. But anyway, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Odyssey Sports Station, the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries, always live on the free Odyssey app. Coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Yeah, people will tell you what they like with their behavior. So I get it. I understand that costs a lot of money. I understand it's probably pretty hard to do. And you can have all these conversations that we've had for years about, oh, it's not that bad, or you can this, that, or the other, but day games in the sun, people they're not going to sit there.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything you could do about it, but if there is, I'd do it.
Right. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the other part of it is they've been so good for a while that you do get a lot of home night games. So that kind of offsets it. And, when you get past the end of October and daylight savings, it's not that much of an issue. It's just earlier in the year.
Vinny in Modesto. Hello, Vinny. What's up? Vinny. Nothing? Okay.
Vinny?
Bye, Vinny. Let's go to Tim in San Rafael. Hello, Tim.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We're good, bud. What's up?
Yeah, hey. Thanks for taking the call. Hey, first, I just want to say I've enjoyed listening to you guys. I started listening after the purge at the other station, and haven't regretted moving over.
Boy, you've said, a couple people have said something about this other station recently. I don't know. I didn't know there was one.
You know what? It's completely, I don't even remember what the name of it is anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Anyway, thanks, Tim. What's up?
All right, so I got a little theory on the injuries. I'm not a scientist. It's just my suspicions. But over the course of about 15 years, starting about 2010, I started running ultra marathons and trail races, and like 50 kilometer races up to 150-mile races. And I was hardly ever injured after about 2015 because I started learning about heart rate training and that there's a difference between working out really hard and when you're anaerobic and you're doing damages to your ligaments and your muscles and the tendons versus when you're working out really easy aerobically and you're burning fat, you're building muscle, you're building strength. And I just suspect that these guys, they're all big guys. They want to be stronger. They want to be faster. I think that they probably are working out too hard, too often, and they're not building the aerobic base that's needed to really support these hard workouts that they do.
Tim, go
Tim
ahead, Tim.
likes that LSD. Long, slow distance, Tim. Am I right?
Go. That's strong. Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
Run a lot, mostly easy, sometimes hard.
Easy, yeah. Tim, you're probably onto something, but here's the challenge there. Thanks, Tim. Hell, just like Herm Edwards said when he came on our show, you got to protect Ricky Pearsall from himself now.
Yep.
Because how are you going to tell the best athletes in the world who, and football players especially, because they do have a few screws loose, how are you going to tell them to slow down? Like, how? I don't know how you have that mentality and then also slow down. And then the second part of it is, because again, I don't think Tim's wrong. I think there's 1,000 ways to sort of handle your workout routine. We've probably all heard all of the people who sort of think they've got it figured out. I tend to subscribe to the idea that there is no such thing as anybody who's got it all figured out. You can figure it out for you. You might, as a trainer, be able to figure it out for someone else. But I don't think there's a catch-all that works for everybody because not everybody is the same. And then with football, you add into it whatever you're doing training-wise, whatever is optimal, and you can be the best shape and everything is working perfect. I'm not straining any muscles or whatever. And then somebody flies across the middle and bangs you on the knee with a helmet. There's no training. Like, if you really want to get concerned, it's funny. The poster for frustrating injuries this year, I'd argue, is Ricky Pearsall.
George Kittle.
Well, no, but
the first one.
That's what I want to talk about.
The first one.
George Kittle, both of them. The first one and the last one. Those are the ones that we can have a discussion about. Ricky Pearsall banging a knee and Fred Warner's ankle going the other way have, in my opinion, nothing to do with your training at all. You're playing football and you got the hard bang in the wrong spot.
Well, easy there.
I'm sorry. That's what happened.
Fred, yes. Ricky, I'm not sure. I mean,
PCL.
And Kyle says, you can't decide how you're going to fall and stuff. And you fall on your knee, and it's going to be the way that happens and stuff.
He loved what Ricky did in the offseason. George is the one who twice this year had significant injury without being touched.
Right.
Without being touched.
Was the first one, to me, is the one that raises eyebrows because that was just a straight up hammy.
Full tear.
Right.
Just running.
And by the way, not really involved in the play, running.
Right.
So he's running, hammy, you're out for 5 or 6 games, and then the other one's just the Achilles. And that to me is more a case of, you're 32. And when you get to be 32 and you plant your leg like that, as we know, the negative step that we've seen so many times now, and you put your foot back like that, it can go, especially when you get older like he is.
You want to do a week 5 bet?
Week 5 bet.
I got a week 5 bet.
For?
George Kittle.
Oh, for this upcoming year?
Yep.
Like, will he play week 5?
Yes. Will he play by week 5?
A week 5 bet.
That's going to be a yes from me, dog.
Week 5 would be
week 5.
October 1st-ish. Let's just call it that. We don't have the actual
we don't have
dates
the
yet,
schedule.
but it's roughly October 1.
But we can figure it out because it's the Sunday after Labor Day is going to be the opener, right?
Usually, yeah.
So Labor Day is Monday the 7th.
Right.
So the first NFL Sunday is
the 13th.
September 13th. 20th, 27th is week 3. October 4th is week 4. October 11.
Yeah.
October 11. I say he's in.
He got hurt in January? That was against it was against Philly.
Yeah.
Right?
Early January. 2 weeks ago.
Yep. 9 months. I'll take the over just for the fun of it.
Okay. What are we doing?
We'll bet dinner, the dinner that's owed to me owed to you. So whoever wins, like either you take your wife out on Steiny and Goo, or I was going to say my wife out. Take somebody out.
Come on. I was going to say the loser is in charge of getting Steiny and Guru to pay off.
You better be careful.
It's too late, Randy, unless you dumped it.
Yeah. Wait, who dumped who? Anyway.
That's a 4.
Okay. Week 5.
Sure. Okay. Like, the winner has to force
Steiny and Guru to take us to dinner.
Right.
It's uncomfortable now.
I don't want to win. Although if I win, then you have to force them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Good luck with that.
I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
They're taking us out.
Can they just pay?
No, I'm going to set a date. And I'm going to set a date. And then I'm going to it's just like interest. If you haven't paid by this, it's going to turn into a dinner and a half.
We spent an hour with them out there off the air, just chatting away.
And it never came up.
Right. It should have. If I wasn't hogging the mic and crying the whole time.
Aren't you all uncomfortable when you owe somebody like that? You know what I mean? Like you owe somebody money or you owe somebody something and you just let it sit there and fester.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I'm more uncomfortable when they owe me.
See, I'd rather be owed than owe. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
I shouldn't say this on the air, but one of my 8 jobs takes a minute. They take a minute.
To pay you.
They take a minute.
Pay me what you owe me.
But sometimes in my mind...
Don't act like you forgot.
You get on that banking app and you're like, and more is coming.
Yep.
It's not here yet.
Not yet. Yep.
But it's on the way, and I like that feeling much more than the opposite.
It's close for me because I'm with Grandy, if somebody owes me and it's like I don't want to sweat you,
no, I know they're good for it.
Well, if you know that, then it's fine. But if you're questioning,
sometimes they do have some mix-ups, and you send a text, and then somebody checks with somebody who checks with somebody and checks with somebody, and then 3 days later they'll be like, yeah, that'll go screwed up, but it's coming. Right. It's always coming.
But I don't like to have to give that nudge.
I don't like it either.
Every year we do a family getaway to Eureka, and last year I paid for the house up front, and so we were going to go thirdsies, and my brother Mike paid his portion, and then one of my other siblings owed me their portion of the third, and it was 2 months, and then 3 months goes by, and 4 months. It's now I got to ask you? I don't want to ask you.
Yeah, I don't want to ask.
I did.
No,
it's awkward, though.
So, sometimes you got to do it.
And then they paid.
Right.
By they, I mean she. And by she, I mean Gail. There. I'm an open book today. I'm sorry. Beware, anybody who knows me for the next hour and 50.
Tell everybody who Gail is.
The Hurricane.
Yeah, that's
Hurricane
your sister.
That's my sister,
Yeah.
the Caner.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the RNS Garage Doors, time now for the closer of the week, and you hear that, that's my sister. For those of you new to the program, that grunt is Gail.
Yeah, perfect.
Sure.
Okay. Anyway.
I don't like to owe or be
What's
owed.
going on here? Yeah, exactly.
I just explained it, Bob. It was very clear.
You owe the three of us pizza. But I owe you babysitting.
Right. And so we agreed that we agreed to disagree. And so, you're not paying me, I'm not paying you. It's over. That thing is buried and done.
Wait, when you said we, does that mean Lucas and I were owed pizza?
Yes, you were.
Oh, wow. What the hell?
Yeah, well, sorry.
Well,
that's just the
open
way
up
it
your
goes.
door and you're welcome.
You guys are
That's not
just
from you.
You're collateral damage. I'm sorry. It was my bet that you guys got looped into, so sorry.
Ipso facto, Dib still owes us pizza.
Not of, but not really. Yeah.
Right. And the statute of limitations.
Kind of like sometimes in life, you just look at things and you're like, that's the way it went. You know?
Yep.
It's kind of like it's kind of like this. Let's say you had a job where everything was dependent on some sort of technology working. And then on a given day, that technology was not working. And then they would be like, if it doesn't work, you just get the day off. But then when your shift starts, boom, the technology just poof.
Yep.
It just starts working magically, literally right at the minute when you start. But the people before you, they just got to leave. They just got a day off.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
It's the way that went. Yep.
I mean, I'm just making up a weird scenario.
It's crazy to even imagine that.
All right. So we're sponsored by DAZN. Hey, should we do Grandy's Grades? I feel like we should.
Sure, I'm in.
Okay, we'll do Grandy's Grades coming up next. I also want to play for you this Peter Schrager, Dan Orlovsky analytics thingamabob that everybody's yelling about that I think is right up our alley. Cam Inman's going to hop on at 5. Warriors Live's at 5:30. Your phone calls are always welcome. 888-957-9570. It's Willard and Dibs.
Two global superstars in their prime square off at Madison Square Garden. Here we go. Tiafimo, the Brooklyn-born king of 140, looks to retain his world title as Shakur steps up to become a 4-division world champion. Don't miss Lopez versus Stevenson, January 31st. Watch only on DAZN. Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Your home is your sanctuary. Keep it that way with the beauty and performance of Milgard windows and doors. From the elegant Tuscany series to the modern slim profile Trinsic series, Milgard offers energy-efficient solutions and lifetime warranty options. At Ashby Lumber, our experts are here to help you find the perfect Milgard fit for your project, whether you're a DIYer or a professional contractor. Visit our dedicated door and window showrooms in Berkeley or Concord to see the Milgard difference in person. Start your project today at ashbylumber.com. Ashby Lumber, your trusted building partner since 1968.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Neuropathy is a debilitating condition that is sometimes misdiagnosed. Symptoms can include pain, numbness, and tingling in your hands, legs, and feet. Neuropathy is a progressive condition that only worsens unless you get effective treatment. SF Bay Wellness is a leader in neuropathy reversal and uses FDA-cleared, non-invasive electric cell therapy to restore nerve function with no injections, no drugs, and no surgery. The treatments have a 95% success rate. If distance is a factor, ask about our virtual consultation option. Call SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE for the $99 neuropathy evaluation and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Don't wait another day. Call 844-94-NERVE. That's 844-94-NERVE. Why keep suffering with the painful symptoms of neuropathy? You deserve to live a pain-free life. Start getting the treatment you need for your neuropathy symptoms. Call today.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
In San Francisco, partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 44.
Weather brought to you by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples. That was easy. Ends 1/31.
See country star Luke Bryan on his The Word on the Street tour this summer. He'll be performing at Shoreline Amphitheater on August 14th. Buy tickets at LiveNation.com for your chance to win your way into the show, courtesy of Live Nation, and are online at 957thegame.com.
Shut up, bro. It sucked.
Now, back to
Will and Dibby
on 95.7 The Game.
I've decided Sean McVay is weird. But that's
okay.
That's okay.
Is this breaking?
No.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a weird deal yesterday.
A lot of it was weird.
Yeah, like, I don't care if you want, like, quite frankly, in our business, it's great if you get mad at a press conference. That's way more interesting than Belichick and the whole thing. Get mad. And sometimes it's warranted. And then sometimes it's not, and then we discuss it. I just thought this one was odd. This was the most innocuous question I've ever heard elicit an emotional response. Your quarterback is the same age as Steph Curry. I think the media would be remiss if they did not ask at the end of the season, hey, do you know if he wants to play next year? Do you expect him back? And McVay got
spicy.
Yeah, spicy.
Do you expect Matthew Stafford to be back next season?
Yeah, if he still wants to play, what the hell kind of question is that?
Want to play?
You have to ask him. We've been totally present. He's the MVP of the league, and if he's not, I got respect for everybody else, but this guy played at a level that's just different. I appreciate you guys this year. Thank you.
Knock, and then he left.
Yeah, why the hell wouldn't he come back and play?
If that pissed you off, what wouldn't piss you off? If that's your answer to is Matt playing again next year, what's your answer for, hey, Sean, why didn't you go for 2, dog?
What the hell kind of question is that?
Damn, what the hell kind of question is that?
You're getting there.
Why didn't I go for 2? Why didn't we go for 2?
The hell kind of question is that?
I wasn't out there, but I mean, we could have gone for 2, but instead we went for 1 and we got the 1.
The hell kind of question is that?
What if we went for 2 and we didn't get the 2? Then we'd get 0.
The hell kind of question is that?
Instead we went for 1 and we got 1.
The hell kind of question is that?
I mean, what's more? Is 1 more than 0? Is 1 more than 2? No, 2's more than 1, but 1's also more than 0.
I like that. What if we go for 2, we don't get it, then we get 0?
And if we go for 1 like we did, we get 1, then 1's more than 0. So that's why we went for 1. We didn't go for 2. What the hell kind of question is that?
The hell kind of question is that?
I'm getting there.
Oh, you're getting there. The gargoyle is starting to leave. Remember, when you started, it was McVay and a gargoyle had a baby.
Precious.
And it was a McGargoyle.
Yep.
But now it's...
A little bit of Gollum in my McVay.
I still think it's like if McVay had gotten a part in The Princess Bride.
Yep.
That's what I think you were doing, but you're getting there.
Clearly you would choose the goblin in front of me.
Clearly you can't. Yeah, oh gosh. Inconceivable.
That's great.
Anyway.
The list comes naturally for me, so yeah.
You're crushing it. All right, that isn't even what I was going to play.
Okay.
I was going to play some other stuff, and then I saw that, and I'm like, what's the matter with you, McVegas? By the way, Sean McVegas, bleep you, dog. Where's your stupid, pointless field goal when some of us needed it?
Hello?
Where's your, hey, let's lose 31-30 so at least we can, Sean McVegas? Nope, not yesterday.
No.
Thanks a lot.
And I get it.
For nothing.
Like, you're going to go for it on 4th and 4, and if you score, then you take the lead. Cool. That's awesome. They still have 5 minutes. And if you don't get it, well, now you're down 4, and they still have 5 minutes. And I guess you're thinking, okay, we're going to stop them. But sorry, Sean, you haven't really all day.
Yeah, to me, I've thought a lot about this because even lovely Christy and I did not see eye to eye on the going for it on 4th down. And I was like, in this situation, I get it. Now that you're here. But I would argue along with you, you shouldn't have been in this situation. So in other words, I kind of have a line with the whole like go for 2 to get within 3 thing. And to me, it's either 4th quarter or damn near. So you go 24-19, but it's like 10 minutes to go, 11 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. No. I'm not chasing.
Kick it.
We're going to kick it. And they did. But then when you scored to make it 31-26 with like a minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter, that's going to be a 2 from me, dog. And you didn't. And if you had, when you went down there and had 4th and 4 with 5 minutes to go, there wouldn't have even been a question. You would have tied the game if you had gotten the 2. So I got it in the moment because you're also thinking if we don't get it, they're pinned deep inside their own 10 and they'll have trouble getting out of here, which they didn't.
Right.
Cooper Kupp, very big catch. Anyway, all of that. So that's kind of how I saw it, but it's always hindsight 2020. And that's what we're doing here. Peter Schrager, Sean Payton going for it on 4th down in the first half, already up 7-0. This is from First Take ESPN.
The same guy who calls an onside kick to start the second half of a Super Bowl. He has always been one of the most aggressive 4th down play callers. He is who he is. He was going for that. He was going to try to put the nail in that coffin there when they had the opportunity. They don't. I do find it interesting league-wide because whether it was Dan Campbell going 0 for 5 on 4th down attempts against the Eagles on a Sunday night, whether it was McVay last night, whether it's the countless times people are saying, just take the points, take the points. If the pendulum will swing back in these coaching circles, now that the kickoff gives you the ball at the 35, like, do you just take the points? Because it seems like every game is being decided by a field goal or less. Yeah. Instead of constantly going, I know the analytics tell us one thing and we're in an analytics world, but it felt like time and time again, these playoffs, these games are decided by so few points and so many coaches left points.
What do you think?
I think that it should swing back. And in the pendulum, I don't know if it's going to swing, partly because of what you always talk about, which is if you kick the field goal, then you're considered a chicken or a coward by so many people.
But a wee little man.
Right. I do think that in football and in all of sports, the analytics have taken hold of the human beings to a point where it's gone way too far. And I think about yesterday in both examples, and did you know that the weather was going to turn that badly? Well, I didn't. I wasn't there. But if I'm a head coach, I'm definitely going to have somebody on the Doppler. And if I know that that's coming, then 3 points now is worth about 8 points later, because turns out it's going to be really hard to score when the skies open up and now the field is blanketed with snow.
Two things on whether they knew or not that it was going to snow. You never know exactly what's going to happen.
Sure.
But there are reports that Mike Vrabel absolutely purposefully had the Patriots wear their all whites so that they would be difficult to play against in snow. And Broncos receivers did report that when they were going into the wind, they could not see the defense. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, seeing ghosts.
But secondly, if professional sports teams today are going to have multi-million-dollar analytics facilities inside their stadiums, and they do, all of them do. If you're going to pour millions of dollars into analytics, how the hell can the weather report not be part of that? You have information on angles that players take. You have information on how guys do on...
And I know a couple of those came in the second half when the conditions had gotten bad, when the snow had started to fall. But I always think about the human element. So it's 4th and 1, early second quarter, and you're at the 14-yard line. So, yeah, if you convert, you still have a chance to kick a field goal if you convert and you still don't get a touchdown. But you could just take the 3 right there and be up 10-0. And you're already dealing with, and this is where I have a hard time with analytics, very light on experience. You're at home. The crowd wants to really be in it. Oh. You take the points. Analytics, schmanalytics.
You're tapping into my biggest thing with analytics, which is the fact that analytics cannot account for what's actually going on in that situation.
Right.
You can't tell me that, well, analytics said go for on 4th and 1. Well, did you tell analytics that Bo Nix is hurt? Did you tell analytics that the defense knows damn well you're going to run the ball?
Right.
Because your quarterback's never played before? Does analytics know? And if analytics doesn't know that, then it's irrelevant. Totally and completely irrelevant. Unlike Mark Grandy. We literally have a text. 650, did you see it, Grandy? Where the hell are Grandy's grades?
Whoa.
I need that. Ooh. Not that. That. So.
Season-long Grandy's grades?
Let's do that right now.
Yeah, the rare season-long edition of Grandy's Grades here on 95.7 The Game in Willard and Dibbs. The Niners went 12-5, as we know, and lost in the divisional round to the eventual NFC champion Seattle Seahawks. We'll go by position group as always, and we will grade the entire season. We begin with the quarterback position, which was manned by Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, almost an even split over the course of the entire season. It was a lot more positive than negative, absolutely. This group kept the Niners afloat for multiple weeks while all of their position groups, other than Christian McCaffrey, were injured. I gave them a B+. This was a really, really good year for Niners quarterbacks. There weren't, there were some bad weeks, particularly I'm thinking of Brock Purdy versus the Panthers on that national TV game late in the season, but it was definitely more good than bad. B+ for the quarterback position.
I think B+ feels right. They definitely don't get an A. I can't give them an A because of a few things that you talked about like that. The Carolina game, dealing with injury. It just wasn't A-level stuff. But I don't know how you can't be way, way more positive than negative with the way they played. Both of them went in there and won the majority of their games. Mac Jones certainly overperformed what any expectation would have been. And Brock Purdy, once he got going, schedule, sure, but 7-2 with a very, very high rating and obviously very good output, some 40-point games, etc. B+ feels right to me too.
It's an A- for me, and it's because of Mac Jones. It's the fact that your backup came in and went 5-3. Your backup went down to LA on a short week and beat the Rams. And turns out the Rams were a very, very good team. Mac Jones played through pain. He did that. They both had their mistakes. The Carolina game is a great example of some sloppiness, but the fact that your backup did that, and if you look at their numbers, almost identical between Brock and Mac in terms of quarterback rating, not QBR, but the rating and the touchdowns and the yardage. So Mac was all that, which is why I move him up to an A-.
All right. I like that. Up next is skill positions, running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers. Much like the quarterback position, this was more positive than negative. It was really, really highly influenced by one singular guy in Christian McCaffrey. He was your leading rusher and your leading receiver, and it wasn't close on either front. I mean, the dude had 924 receiving yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. Juwan Jennings was really good this year. So was George Kittle. It was really just those 3, though, that had any kind of consistent impact from the skill position group. The rest of the group was marred by injury or just lack of ability to perform. So those 3 carry the majority of the weight. It was a B+, though, because those 3 were just so good, particularly McCaffrey for the whole season.
For me, it's a B-. McCaffrey gets an A++++++, if there was such a thing. And, Kittle was good when healthy, but not always healthy. And Juwan was good. He played through pain. But other than that, the group was really kind of underwhelming. I ran down the stat earlier about how rarely they threw to wide receivers, and that's a part of it. So I was a little bit disappointed with the group. McCaffrey, amazing, B-. I'm
going to knock it down even further because there's a player that you guys are leaving out, and he technically is a part of this, and his name is Brandon Ayuk. So Christian McCaffrey, obviously, I'm with you. I don't give him A++++ because he gave that game away against Seattle. But anyway, he was
stick it to him.
Yeah, he was an A. He was fantastic, obviously. And then Juwan, good. And then other players where you're like, well, they were good when they were there. George Kittle was good when he was there.
Kendrick Bourne,
Ricky Pearsall had some moments where he's good when he was there. But there just wasn't anything other than Christian that was consistent. The only other consistent thing was how badly Brandon Ayuk left his team in alert. So for me, I fall it down to a C+.
Fair enough. Up next is the offensive line. I had a strange relationship with the offensive line all year. They were bad, and when I say bad, really bad for a handful of weeks. But there was a decent stretch there once they got on that winning streak towards the end of the season where they were a whole lot better than I was expecting. Largely, I was disappointed in their inability to run the ball basically the entire season. It's amazing that McCaffrey still got 1,200 rushing yards this season, considering what it felt like on a game-to-game basis. There also were some injuries that they had to fight through. I think eventually an injury led to one of the better moves, which was Spencer Burford at left guard, and that turned out to be probably the best option for them at that spot. It wasn't terrible, but I never came into a game thinking that was a strength. It's a C-. It wasn't terrible, but it was honestly better than I was expecting.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a C also, a little bit higher, but I largely agree with what you're saying, where it's like there was this good stretch. It was kind of right when Brock got back, and then they had some really good games in there. But for me, there's 2 things that are the bottom line. One, in 2 consecutive games at the end of the year, you got absolutely manhandled by the Seattle Seahawks. And 2, other than a couple of games, Atlanta, Chicago, etc., you could not run the football. And on a Shanahan team in that system, you have to be able to run the ball. So the offensive line, I can't do anything better than a C.
Pretty harsh from the 2 of you. I've got it a little bit higher. And if you look at where they wound up, they were 10th in points scored, which tells me that you at least were able to do some things. And when Brock got back after his injury, they were hanging 30 and 40. I mean, they were starting to really cook. Yes, the Seattle mismatch and the Houston game, certainly those are matchups that they did not shine. But ultimately, they only gave up 27 sacks. And we talk about how they only had 20 sacks as a defense. They only gave up 27. I think you guys are being a little harsh. I have it as a B-.
All right, we transition now over to the defensive side of the football. We begin with the front 7, the defensive linemen, and the linebackers. This one, for me, probably the most difficult group to grade because it was the one that was most impacted by injuries. You lose Nick Bosa for basically the entire season, and you lose Fred Warner for more than half the season, so that is factored into my grade here. It never really felt like the front 7, either the D-line or the linebacking core, was a strength of this defense. I don't know if he could say that about the secondary either. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. But because of those injuries, I felt like I had to give him a little bit of a break in terms of a grade. You got some good performances here and there from some relative no-names. I thought Tatum Bethune came in and played really well. You kind of got, some decent performances from Keon White, who you acquired in a trade from the Patriots. Cleveland Ferrell came back in and was one of your better pass rushers, not saying all that much. Considering what the injuries were, I know it was not pretty, but honestly, I was expecting it to be worse, and those injuries factor heavily in. I gave the front seven a C- as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. C- is the grade I was thinking about. And yeah, when you talk about a bend but don't break defense, they were the bend, and then the back end was the don't break. They bent a lot. They gave up a lot of yards on the ground. They didn't pressure the quarterback. The linebackers eventually got to the fourth stringers, and they played great against Philly. But in general, that front seven was kind of in backward mode. So not impressed. Injuries a part of it. C-.
Yeah, I had a hard time with this grade. It's like, I don't know. Who am I grading? Was sort of the way I looked at it. I ended up at C+. Because same as you, like I didn't find anything that was like, wow, that was great. You didn't rush the passer, etc. But every spot where you go, oh, that didn't go well, you have a yeah, but where you had a reason why. I do fall on the fact that some certain players got some good experience that I think will help them down the road. The interior line rookies for the Niners are part of that. Same for D. Winters and Tatum Bethune. And so, D. Winters pick six, like they had their moments this year. Nothing great, fully understandable C+.
Up next is the secondary, and I feel like I might get some hell from you guys for this, but I gave the secondary a D+, worse than the front seven, largely because this was a healthy group. And I know, of course, these two groups work hand in hand. If the front seven can't get pressure on the quarterback, it's going to make the secondary look a whole lot worse. But because the secondary was the most healthy of the three levels of the Niners defense all season long, and they still were consistently giving up third and longs, could not contain star receivers on the other side, I feel like they're deserving of a D+. I just have very little confidence in almost anybody on that secondary other than Diamador Lenore. You get to late in the season, and Upton Stout was a whole lot better, but whoever's playing safety, whether it was Pinnock early in the year or Mustafa once he came back, or Jair Brown basically the entire season, I'm just waiting for disaster to strike, and it felt like more often than not it did. I gave him a D+.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off. That's kind of where my mind was. I went to a C- just because of two really, really positives, I think. I think that we didn't hear Diamador Lenore's name a lot this year, and there's a reason. Is because he's actually really good. And defenses are just like, we're not going to go there. There's too many other spots to go. And I love who the Niners found in Upton Stout, who not only was a good player, but I thought showed up in some of the biggest moments of the entire year. Now, that said, Renardo Green, mild disappointment. The safety position was a revolving door, and outside of Jair Brown against Carolina, really did not have a great season, and I thought it was a position of need that the 49ers did not correctly address. It's a group that needs a lot of help this offseason. I don't think you're far off, but I went C-.
I gave them the charity C because they were really up against it with no pass rush. And in general, going through my notes, they didn't give up a ton of explosives. There was misses, there was busted coverages and the like, but defensively they wound up 13th in points allowed. So that's kind of middle of the pack, and they did it. As Mark mentioned, Lenore was good. Upton Stout I thought was terrific. And then the rest of the revolving door spots there were kind of hit and miss, and more miss than hit. So I gave him one of those like charity gentleman C, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, I'm just tired of watching Jair Brown miss tackles. D+ for me. Okay, up next is special teams. Remember how this special team season began? It began and ended in Seattle, and it was bad in both of those games. But for most of the middle part of the season, other than week one and the divisional round in Seattle, Seattle, it was pretty damn good. Eddie Pinheiro came in and looked like the best kicker in the entire NFL. Sky Moore figured out when to catch a punt and when to call for a fair catch and when to actually return. You had a kickoff return by Sky Moore in that game against the Cardinals all the way down to the 1-yard line. By a mile, this was a group that had a more positive impact than a negative impact. But because of how the season began and ended, I can't give them an A. I gave them a B+ on special teams.
Yeah, they came a long way, and it's funny how you mentioned the bookends. I'm looking at the first game, and I see a punt here, Sky Bobble, in my notes, and yeah, he eventually got to be pretty good. They were top 10 in punt return net and kick return net, 30th in punting net average, so it was a little bit hit and miss, but because of Eddie Pinheiro and what he did, like the Jake Moody thing, we spent weeks talking about. You were saying, he's got to go. And I said, give him a chance. Well, they gave him a chance. And then he had to go.
He had to go.
But all things considered, that unit came a long way. I give him a B-.
I actually, I went softer than both of you. I went A- on this group. I was really impressed. I don't think you go a whole season without some mistakes on special teams. You know, Rashid Shaheed, he got one on him. Like that's going to happen. And yes, did they stick with Jake Moody too long because it went into the actual season?
Week.
Yeah, that's one game too long. So yes, they did. And that's where the minus comes from. But week in and week out, their kicking game was phenomenal. They were professional. They were buttoned up. They were well coached. Sky Moore did a good job. And I get them an A- because whatever they did, I don't know how, but they scared the dickens out of the other kicker. Like every week, they're just like, boo, and he would miss so many field goals this year, and it helped him out. So I go A-.
Yeah, shout out Brant Boyer, special teams coordinator.
Yep,
Last but not least, and I'll go quick here, it's coaching. They get the best grade of anybody. An A- from me. The way that Seattle handled the Niners in 2 of their last 3 games, I can't give it a straight A or an A+. You get dominated against Seattle, and then 2 weeks later, the same thing happens. That was disappointing, but this group is nowhere without this coaching staff. They get an A-. They carried this team all season long.
Robert Saleh goes one and done, and Kyle Shanahan may damn well win Coach of the Year, and if he doesn't, it's going to be real close. I understand the frustrations with the way the season ended against Seattle, but if we really look at this, they had no business being 12-5. They had no business winning in Philadelphia. This is an A for me.
Solid A, and it's Saleh, it's Boyer, and it's Shanahan, and you can go down to Bradley and Kasarik and all the rest of them. The coaching staff was awesome this year. Yeah, there's things that you can criticize. The use check pitch to McCaffrey on fourth down, you got to be bleeping me. That's one play. Like you said, Mark, they had no business being one of the last 8 teams standing after all the injuries. They get an A.
All right, and that's Grandy's grades. We'll see you again next year.
We give Grandy an A for Grandy's grades this year.
No A+?
Yeah.
A-.
Give him an A. Give him an A.
Try it again next year. A+ or try again.
Well, look at the timing. He even nailed it right. I mean, I give you an A, dude. Give you an A.
I'm going for an A+ next year.
No, I'm not giving those. All right. Brought to you by Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good. Hey, guess what? Our friend Cam Inman is going to stop by here in a little bit. Little offseason preview for the Niners. We got Warriors Live coming up in 45 minutes. People in Warriors jerseys are going to play in Minnesota tonight. It's going to be fantastic. 888-957-957. It's Willard and Dibbs. Also, you ever study the coaches who win relentlessly? The legends, the dynasties. They are systematic warriors. Disciplined, obsessive, they outwork, outthink, and outlast everybody for pure domination. In the legal world, that describes Omar Habas, Tariq Habas, and the Habas Law team. When Habas Law goes up against big insurance companies, they will grind them to a dust. Habas Law knows every inch of the Bay Area legal playing field, and nothing will catch them off guard. If you've been injured and you want to win, you need to visit HabasLaw.com. Habas Law, they fight to make it right.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Listos todos. Estas son las mañanitas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 new lines, and 4 eligible trade-ins. For well-qualified customers with auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement required.
Come on, kids. We're almost there. The map says straight ahead.
One-a-day 50-plus multivitamins are made for your overall health, with nutrients to support your brain and muscle function. Because don't you want to make the most of each day? So even on the family hike, you're not just keeping the pace.
Hey, Dad, wait up.
You're one step ahead. One a day 50 plus. The one for you. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Save on best of season fruits at Whole Foods Market. Get Sumo Citrus for $3.49 per pound with Prime through January 27th. Celebrate citrus season with this sweet yet tart essential. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill to see the full selection of Thermador appliances. Thermador provides a range of possibilities, from refrigeration to dishwashers or cooking with steam or convection. Come into Friedman's Appliance, and right now, you can receive up to 3 complimentary gifts with qualifying purchase. See all Thermador appliances displayed beautifully in live working vignettes at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and at friedmansappliance.com.
Join History San Jose for South Bay Flashback, Riffs, Rhythms, and Revolution. This new exhibit celebrates San Jose's forgotten music scene of the 1960s through over 200 show posters, artifacts, and stories. Whether you danced to these beats the first time around or you're discovering the roots of rock history, this free exhibit will take you back to this psychedelic moment. Now open select weekends at the Paseta House in History Park. Visit historysanjose.org or 408-287-2290 to plan your visit.
Want to interact with the hosts but can't call? Text the Boxer & Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line at 888-957-9570. Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Cam Inman's going to join us here in just a couple minutes. Warriors Live is in 40 minutes. Willard and Dibbs. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
888-957-957. Here's something we haven't thought about in a while, and maybe we should have.
Okay.
Check this out. About 6 weeks ago, this was a monster story. And then, poof, just went silent. You know what tonight is?
No, Mark, I don't.
Tonight is game number 46 for Pat Spencer.
Ooh.
Who is on a two-way contract and only gets 50 of these.
Bay Area, it's Pat Spencer.
What's up, Pat? You want like a roster spot or something? You want to stay?
I'm sure he does.
He gets 4 more games after tonight. You know how many games there are before the trade deadline?
I would guess 4, Mark.
4 more games.
I'm using context clues.
Where the Warriors may or may not open up a roster spot. But for those of you lacrosse fans out there, the clock is tick, 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 ticking on Pat Spencer's current two-way contract. Warriors are going to have to figure that out also by February 5th, a week from Thursday.
And odds are he's going to play tonight because, he might be the only one to play tonight.
And it doesn't even matter if he plays.
As long as he's rostered, yes. But, he's going to be active, and he's been active every time.
Correct.
Whether or not he's played, he's been active, and that's all that matters. And tonight, if you're active, you're going to play. Jerry Stackhouse might get minutes tonight. Terry Stotts.
This might be like one of those youth games where they go over to Minnesota's locker room. Be like, can we have one of your players? And just, we'll give him a jersey and everything. Right. This could be one of those. So, yeah, if you're just joining us, no Steph, no Draymond. Of course, no Jimmy, no Jonathan Kuminga, no DeAnthony Melton, no Al Horford. But, there's going to be some pods now.
A lot of pods.
I know is pretty exciting for everybody. All right, back to the Niners. Really looking forward to the idea of what this offseason will hold. Because if there was anything I took from yesterday's NFC title game, it's that, yes, 12 wins, you won a playoff game, but my goodness, you got a lot of work to do. You couldn't move the ball in Seattle. Well, the Rams sure could. So I thought it was clear there was a lot of work to be done and a good day to bring in our buddy on the River Islands guest line, been covering the Niners forever. You know him well. Cam Inman is joining us to talk this out. Hey, Cam, what's going on tonight?
Good afternoon. I'm on my commute home from the first day of teaching at a beautiful day in the South Bay.
Perfect. All right. Perfect. Well, we appreciate you doing a little bit of that with us. So, what did you take from yesterday? Matt Stafford going on 3 and 4 play drives against the defense where the Niners couldn't move the ball.
Well, there's a lot of things at play there. I think I don't think the Niners are as behind the Seahawks and the Rams as maybe the prevailing opinion is. And I say that not like out of 49er homerism. The Niners were exhausted. They were just beaten down, playing all those short weeks. And I think you saw that for the game in Seattle when the season was over. It was kind of like, all right, that's as far as they could go. And, Trent Williams dismissed, the fact that Seattle was the best defense that they'd ever faced because he brought up Houston, and I agreed with him. So, but they're obviously not at their level. Seattle's defense was so fast and got the ball. In fact, I thought Seattle's defense played better in the regular season finale. And I think the Rams they have the experienced team. Stafford is such a good quarterback. Well, I expected the Rams to be able to put up more points on them than the Niners because that Niners offense was exhausted. They didn't have Kittle. There's a lot of excuses to be built in, but it was still a heck of a season.
No doubt. And 12-5 is something that you probably wouldn't have expected if you knew you're going to be without your starting quarterback for half the year and all the rest of the injuries. And we all know that's like old news and ancient history. But looking ahead, Cam, at next year with Kittle, a maybe for early October, and Bosa coming off an ACL, and CMC and Trent, obviously a year older. Are they getting further away? We don't know who they're going to be next year, but doesn't that give you some concern about who you have coming back?
My concern is kind of like with yours in terms of the guys that are injured. Like, when is George going to be fully cleared? Like, are we looking at him like an October return where he'd start on top? Same with Bosa and Kel Williams, because I mean, to me, honestly, the biggest offseason need right now is to fix that defensive front. And you need more pass rushers besides Bosa and Williams. You got Bryce up if you want to bring him back. I like Keon White. I thought that was a good trade, sneaky trade that not people really looked into. But you're going to need more depth there. You're going to need some veteran defensive tackles because, as we've learned with these Niners, they need a good defensive front for that whole defense to work. And if it doesn't work, then you're not getting any interceptions, and you're vulnerable. And you just hope Fred Warner's back to full health, and I think he will be, so that's going to be good too.
Cam, do we finally see Kyle Shanahan adjust his approach to building an offensive line? He always tends to do that kind of, not always, but, there's a lot of bargain bin shopping kind of a vibe, and he always feels like he's going to figure it out. Do you think that changes this offseason?
Absolutely not, because I think the common fan thinks there's 5 All-Pros sitting out there to sign, and it just does not work that way on the offensive line. I do not think that they would change it because they have more pressing needs on the defensive line, at wide receiver. The only vacant spot on their line essentially is a left guard, and maybe if they want to make a change at center, but I don't get the sense that they don't like Jake Brendel. So you just paid McKivitz. Dom Pooney's been entrenched at right guard for 2 years. Trent's still going to be coming back and playing. Do you want a new left tackle down the road? Sure. But that would probably take the first-round draft pick. Are you willing to do that now and have him sit for a year or have him play left guard to learn what it's like to play next to Trent, which I don't think is a bad idea. But no, I don't sense that they're going to switch their whole philosophy of drafting a high offensive lineman. I mean, they got McGlinchey in the first round because they needed a right tackle right away. Well, they already got their tackles. So you don't waste a high pick on an interior offensive lineman.
I get that, and I mean, maybe you wind up getting somebody in free agency, and I do look at the center and the left guard as kind of the weaknesses, and you were unable to really run the ball between the tackles, the A gap and the B gap. It was non-existent offensively, so if they don't upgrade the offensive line, and you've got CMC coming back after a monster workload, how do they get better as an offense then, Cam?
That's a great question because this was the first time in 20 years where they averaged under 4 yards a carry. And they did that with McCaffrey. But McCaffrey has basically had 2 jobs. He was their number 1 receiver, and he's the guy that also has to try to run the ball when there's really not as many lanes as there used to be. And it sense like a breakdown in him. Obviously, he's an MVP finalist for crying out loud. They made him do so much extra work to pick up for the fact that they didn't have any wide receivers outside of Juwan Jennings. And that was it. I mean, Ricky Pearsall missed so much of the year. Brandon Ayuk was a no-show. And, I mean, McCaffrey had to cover for him. So I got to think that the run game suffered to an extent with that. But it is alarming. I mean, they need to get the run game on track. I thought Purdy was a lot more mobile in the second half of the year when he came back from the toe. So I think that loosens things up a little bit. But they do have to solve that, too. And I don't think the offensive line is the automatic solution that everybody wants to believe it is, because there's just not a bunch of all-pro offensive linemen that are ready to go out and sign in free agency.
Cam, is it time, just because of age, usage, and everything you just talked about, is it time for them to at least get some sort of a mate for McCaffrey in the backfield?
Well, everybody thought Brian Robinson was going to be that guy, and then it turns out Christian McCaffrey doesn't ever want to leave the field. The guy was coming off an injury-plagued year, and he started every single game, had more touches than anybody in the NFL. Does that mean it's going to be a less workload next year? I mean, historically, you can look at it statistically, but McCaffrey just wants to be on the field, and it's hard to take him off when you have an MVP caliber guy. I mean, they said the same thing about Kittle, right? Oh, they got to get a compliment to Kittle at tight end. That's really glaring now because you're not sure how healthy he's going to be going into the year. And I thought Jake Tonga really acquitted himself well this year, where they got to make sure that he's back. But they also got to make sure, who's going to be the wide receivers next year? Juwan Jennings is a free agent.
So how much do you extend to keep Juwan, a guy who can block? And, man, he seems to fit the Shanahan system perfectly with the toughness, the blocking, played through broken ribs. What's the price point, Cam, to where the Niners might blush and balk?
You tell me, would you, and I asked Juwan this at the lock clean out. I said, would you play under would you be cool with the franchise tag? It's $28 million. Yeah. That's a lot of money. But they were paying Ayuk over 30, and obviously Ayuk's a whole different caliber wide receiver when he was healthy. That was a bad contract, obviously. Everything backfired on that. I would do it. I would franchise tag him because you have extra money that you're getting off of Ayuk's book. And you need him around. He knows the offense. Obviously, he's physical. But he also wants to get paid because he's been acting as the number one wide receiver the last 2 seasons. He is physical. But he also is temperamental. I mean, we saw him in Tampa getting that sideline spat with Shanahan because he wanted the ball and it wasn't coming to him. So I don't know. I mean, it's just he's earned a big contract. Is $28 million enough to appease him for a year? I don't know that. And his response was he would defer to his agent, which is Drew Rosenhaus. And Drew's done a lot of deals with the Niners, but franchise tagging to me is it's not very favorable for players because they want to get, if he signs a multi-year deal, he's going to get more than $28 million guaranteed.
Talking with Cam Inman, Bay Area News Group, all over the Niners, looking ahead to the offseason. Cam, even if they do bring Juwan back, there's more needed at that position. Yeah. Is that a free agency thing, a draft thing? Where do you think the Niners look?
Well, don't rule out a trade because John Lynch loves making trades. And your best trade, the best trade you can make is probably dangle Mac Jones for a top flight wide receiver. But do you want to get rid of Mac Jones? I mean, Brock is your franchise quarterback, so you're gambling that he can stay healthy. The fact that Mac was around and carried him to 5 wins was incredible and made him a playoff team. And his whole personality, I mean, it kept the team loose and it made them bond. I thought that was that kind of X factor that gets overlooked. I would keep Mac Jones because I think you do need 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. But if you can get a great wide receiver for him, you pull it off. But at the same time, what is somebody going to give up for Mac Jones? Can you get a second-round pick for him? Is that enough for you to part with having 2 great quarterbacks in your stable? I don't know.
Cam, do you think that they would be like big game hunting at that position? Does A.J. Brown interest them?
I don't think A.J. Brown would because he's got too much baggage from bouncing. Like he's worn out his welcome at too many spots. They do like the big ticket item. They like the first round guy that maybe flops somewhere, right? They would probably kind of scan and see which first round wide receiver maybe is going into his 4th year, did not get an extension or something. Maybe chase him. I looked at some of the other wide receivers that were out there. I mean, you're not going to get Tyreek Hill. He's coming off of an ACL. You got enough of those guys on your team. But remember a year ago, they kind of recast this team as they needed to get younger and faster, right? So if you're talking about a big name wide receiver, they're not going to be younger and faster, but they're going to be proven. They didn't make a play for Devontae Adams last year, and that would have helped them. So, but you never know what the market's going to open up. And you're going to find out in the next 2 months who might get cut, and that could change the philosophy right away. So it's kind of it's all speculation season the next couple months, and then the next few months after that of how they'll impact. So it's all kind of premature, but it's fun. It's fantasy football essentially right now. You can invent your own trade.
No doubt, and you can also look within and you think about, Jacob Cowing and Jordan Watkins. What's your take on their chances? I know Watkins, he's going to be back, and he probably is going to get a shot to actually be healthy. But what about Cowing, Cam?
During all of the offseason last year, he was looking pretty good, and people were writing a lot of stories, and he was getting a lot of hype. But, once the season comes, it's a different beast. And we never got to see what he was going to be because he hurt his hamstring the first day camp. He's a more diminutive wide receiver, and, I mean, that's fine to an extent. But, Sky Moore was also a diminutive wide receiver, and he was, an emergency number 4 wide receiver for him. So that's not going to solve their issue. Jordan Watkins looked great through spring workouts. Then he got hurt going into his rookie season and was a non-factor. They don't know what they have in Jordan Watkins. He's got to make big strides in the offseason if he's going to have a role, because that door is going to be available for him to step up. But there's a lot of great wide receivers probably coming out of college, too, that they can look into and draft. And I think they would do that also. People always say Shanahan's averse to rookie wide receivers, but if you find one that can run all the route tree, that knows how to block in the run game, then he'll play him.
Cam, what do you think when I say the name Max Crosby? You think, is he going to be available, and how hard would the Niners go after it?
Is he going to be available to the 49ers?
Yeah,
I cannot imagine Mark Davis or Tom Brady trading him to the 49ers. And he's the best player on their freaking team. You're going to have the number one pick. You can't bring the number one pick in Mendoza and have nobody on defense. You have to have – I don't see Max Crosby getting moved. Definitely not to the 49ers. And, yes, the 49ers need defensive front help. That's a big contract to take on. You got Bosa making a lot of money. You got a first-rounder with Mykel Williams. I don't see it. I think it's fantasy football. I like the idea. It'll be cool to see because he's a immensely talented player. I don't see him. I don't see that happening with the Niners.
Cam, get home safe, man. Thank you so much. Great stuff.
Gentlemen, thank you. Sun's going down in the Bay Area. It's a good time. It's the off season. We got Super Bowl next week, so we'll see you there.
That's what I heard. I heard. Are you going to come by Radio Row, by the way?
No, it's such a weird thing, right? Radio Row's in the city, and all the team and players are in the South Bay. I will be bouncing back and forth because I don't have to cover one specific team, so I kind of have carte blanche to find stories. So if you guys are on Radio Row, I may stop by and pester you and see you. The Pro Bowl is going to be going on in the same building, right? The Pro Bowl game.
Yeah, can't wait. Very exciting. Shedeur Sanders, a late ad.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? When the 49ers season ended and we were hanging out in the locker room.
From the Laughing Monk Studios. By the way, want to add this real quick just because we're still rolling, brother. We are still undefeated. Triples for Autism is brought to you by Petnelli Financial Partners and the Autism Society San Francisco Bay Area. The Warriors made 16 three-pointers last night, which means another
one.
The part where he said offensive line is just not that need. They're all set there pretty much. This isn't the way Kyle Shanahan does it, and they've got a bunch of other spots they need to address first.
I think he's right about that.
I just don't see it that way.
Well, and also,
I just don't.
I thought his answer was reflective of how Kyle usually does it, and this is how he does it.
No, I get that.
Pooney a second rounder, and McGlinchey was a first, and other than that, it's been a variety of seconds and thirds, and Trent Williams.
Yeah, look, Trent is coming back. McKivitz just got paid. I think McKivitz largely had an okay season. I think Pooney might have been a little bit hurt. I think they can get a better performance out of him next year, maybe. They do like Jake Brendel. I'm not sure if they should. Again, my point is, do they have other needs? Yes. But how are you going to sell to me that team in your division that will play here in Santa Clara in 2 weeks, how are you going to beat them? This offensive line in essentially must-win situations twice in a 3-week period got bulldozed. They got absolutely bulldozed.
Right, and you couldn't get even 4 yards a carry. I think you were 30th in football in yards per carry on the season. And this is the Shanahan offense. And I could bore you with all the numbers and the notes from every year that he's been here, but they've never been even close to this far down in yards per carry running the football. And so if you look at the reason, for me, the reason is the offensive line. McCaffrey sure looked good in the pass game, 102 catches. Yep. And, he looked good enough to where you gave him the rock more than 300 times on the ground. So why couldn't you get anything going? It's the offensive line.
I mean, it seems like it needs some addressing in the interior. And I'm not saying they won't, but the whole, this is the way we do it, I thought kind of blew up in their face. I think while watching the Rams go up and down the field yesterday confirmed it for me. I'd love to see just a little bit more attention and depth on that offensive line. 888-957-9570. We've been taking calls all day on sort of how it felt for you as a Niner fan to watch the Seahawks and the Rams play and watch a game that had, 58 points?
It's about right, yeah.
58 points in this football game. The Niners and Seahawks played 3 times. Hang on. I mean, if it wasn't for the 41 that the Seattle hung on them in the third one, you could have added up all 3 games and you're not going to get to 58 points. It's a completely different style of football that the Rams were able to play against this Seahawks team, and it felt to me yesterday like a wake-up call.
Rams 27, Niners 3 games against Seattle, 26. And I'll say that again, Mark, for those people who are driving around. Maybe you don't get it. The Niners played Seattle 3 times, and in 12 quarters, they scored 26 total points, and they got a win, by the way, which is remarkable. The Rams played 4 quarters on the road in the title game, and they got 27 points, and they should have got more, but I didn't want to go for the field goal. Probably a little too hyper, but I'm still working on it.
Oh, he's pretty hyper.
We're working on some things. 27 points, 1 game. You had 26 in 3 games. So
the hell kind of question is that?
Yeah, it was definitely kind of a different game there, Sean. A little too much Nicholson in that one. But, yeah, the Rams, it looked like the Rams were, all right, first one to 40, let's go. Who says no?
I mean, yeah, you watched the game yesterday, and I don't know how you couldn't be hit over the head with the idea of, never mind, those are the 2 teams. Those are the 2 teams. And being hit over the head by that really hurts. Because, by the way, they both play in the NFC West. Like, that's a quarter of your schedule next year, is those 2 teams. So, I don't know. I got a hard time with the idea of, bring back the same offensive line and, go get them, guys. Just play better. So, I'm not sure that they necessarily will, but I would up the focus on that. I was interested in him talking about how the Niners, they do love to make trades, and maybe a wide receiver who has been a little underutilized or held down a little bit by another one in front of him might be the solution there. Maybe not the biggest ticket of items because they don't need to go, I would avoid this, by the way, any of the $30 to $35 million contracts. But if there's somebody else, and we can canvass the league a little bit and see who might be out there, that is not a bad way to do it. But we know that area needs addressing as well. And Juwan Jennings at best is going to be a big old maybe.
Depends on if they want to give him all that money. And for me, if I'm the Niners, I'm going to be a little bit shy with giving another wide receiver another big deal. Even though Juwan is great and he's played a good role and he can block and he's tough and he fits the identity of the 49ers. So Cam actually made a good point where, okay, you franchise him, $28 million, 1 year guaranteed, and then he walks unless you tag him again, which the Niners don't ever tag once. But the other one would be, all right, you give Juwan, 3 years and $75 million, and you give him $35 million guaranteed. Do you want to do that if you're the Niners? Because that might be where his price tag is.
It might be, and that's that's going to be the rub. I don't think the Niners want to spend big at receiver. He has earned something, as you said. The franchise tag is an option. They don't use it very often. He is a sensitive guy, although he handles it well, but I don't think he's going to love that idea. So is there a middle ground on all this? I don't know. And I keep thinking that Juwan Jennings is also the Draymond Green of the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't just mean that because he is one of the emotional, fiery guys of the team. I also think Juwan Jennings way more valuable to the 49ers than he would be to someone else. I think that the answer to this question that you and I are sitting here talking out is going to be found in what other offers he gets around the league. And I don't know that he's going to love what he gets. Does Jennings get, does he get north of $20 million a year? That's tight. I think if he does, he takes it.
Right, and it depends on the guarantee, obviously, but you're right. I mean, if he gets 3 years and $65 million, which is basically 22 a year, roughly, and you get 32 of that guaranteed, he takes it, of course, because if that's the best offer, you take it, and that's where the 49ers might be able to gauge the market and decide, okay, if we want to keep him for 1 more year, you franchise tag him for $28 million, which is not normally the way they go about doing things. The other thing that Cam said that I thought was interesting is he was talking about looking at guys who were in their third or fourth year and maybe are underperforming a little bit and might actually, be out there, guys that you could trade for, like he was talking about. And just looking at the 2022 draft, Drake London was a first-round pick. He might be somebody who is obtainable. Wan'Dale Robinson.
Well, he's a free agent.
Right, because he was a second-round pick. So he'll be a free agent. Alec Pierce, you've mentioned, same draft. George Pickens, same draft. I know you don't love Pickens, but he's a big physical receiver. He might be a guy who fits the bill.
I'm not relying on him. Good Lord, I'm not relying on him.
What a year. He had a good year for Dallas.
He had a great year until he started doing George Pickens things.
Yeah. Yep.
Had to sit out the first quarter because of a curfew issue.
Yeah.
And then down the stretch, he didn't do bubkiss. And I what was going on in Pittsburgh is what was going on in Pittsburgh. I don't think George Pickens to me is a no fit. If you're going to tell me that A.J. Brown's got too much baggage, then I'm going to respond with so does George Pickens.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Different baggage, but yeah, it can be, a distraction. But you start to look at guys in that realm, I think, and you mentioned Christian Kirk before. He's a guy who is probably attainable. He'll be a free agent. So there's guys out there that you might be able to bring in, but I really don't think they're going to be looking to spend big, longer-term money on a receiver again.
No, but I think that who you're looking for, go to those teams that are not winning right now. Go to those teams and look and see contractually where people are at.
You want Garrett Wilson? Speaking of a guy who plays for a team that doesn't win.
I like Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
I think that's a good player who's got his head screwed on straight. Yeah, I'd love to have Garrett Wilson.
Same draft class, 2022, so he would be in year 4 of a 5-year deal as a first rounder.
You got to be ready to break him off, though, at the end of the year.
Perhaps, or let him walk. I mean, depending. But I like Garrett Wilson, too. That might be a guy who is actually a good fit because he can get deep and he can run all the routes.
Yep. If you want to take a chance on character, by the way, I'd vote no, but I've heard this name get brought up. Do you want to talk to the Vikings about Jordan Addison? He's a really good performer, but boy, that's about too many DUIs for me.
I thought that was number 3, no?
It is.
Oh. You're going to give him one.
Well, I don't want to make it. I don't want to be flippant.
No, I'm not saying you're being flippant.
Yeah,
but
people make mistakes. If this was like I made a mistake and then you really, really turned over a new leaf, I'm listening. That's being a human being. But when you make that mistake and then you keep making that mistake and then you keep making that make a mistake again, come on, man, come on. So I'm a no, but that's the kind of talented guy you're looking for. Do you want to call the Saints about Chris Olave?
Yeah.
Another big ticket item.
No
about
doubt.
to be.
Yep. Addison turning 24 tomorrow, by the way. Be safe out there, Jordan.
Yep.
Tomorrow is his 24th birthday, but you're right. When he's available, when he plays, very, very good player. So you could go that route, or you can just hope that Ricky's going to come in and be healthy, because Ricky Pearsall at his best is as good as both of those guys we just mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's a big if, I know, if he's healthy.
The Warriors play in just over an hour, and we've got Warriors Live to do. And this is a pretty interesting poll result today, as we can get into this a little bit. Engagement is everything on the court and in life. We always ask you on game days to vote in our Engaging Dub Nation poll on 95.7 The Game's Twitter page. It's presented by Shane Co., your friend and jeweler. Earlier we asked, after the Jimmy Butler injury and as presently constructed, do you think the Warriors are A, a playoff team, B, a play-in team, or C, neither? The results might really surprise you.
Yeah?
Have you looked?
No. I hope neither's not leading. For me, they're a play-in team.
That's what I voted. That's what I voted for.
It's pretty clear-cut, 7th through 10th.
56.7% say play-in team. And by the way, when you vote for play-in team, I think that you also mean that you go into the play-in tournament and then don't win. Because if you go into the play-in tournament and you win, then you're a playoff team.
Right, but to me, the implied nature of the poll is playoff. You're a top 6 seed at the end of the regular year.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, everybody can look at it the way they looked at it. I mean, maybe the votes tell you that. 56.7% say play-in team. 32.5% say Neither. 11 seed or worse coming for the Warriors.
Yikes.
Only 10% of you think that this team is going to the playoffs.
Well,
10%.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I'm the bad guy for saying it's over.
Well, you are.
I mean, I'm just with the group.
Yeah, but they don't have spots on this show.
Yeah.
And so I don't know their names.
Sure. I mean, they're just like, remember when Twitter was just a bunch of eggs? People with like no real affiliation, just like a green egg.
I'd like to go back to that, actually.
Yeah.
I'd love to be unaffiliated, anonymous, all of these things. Do you know that the Warriors are only a game and a half out of the 6th seed?
Sounds about right.
I mean, Minnesota Timberwolves have lost 5 basketball games in a row. The Warriors and TWolves play again here in just over an hour. The Warriors are a game and a half behind them, and they're a game and a half behind the Phoenix Suns. That's it. And they remain 6 games clear of the 11 seed. So, look, there's that. And then there's obviously what I think is going to build over the next 10 days. We arrive right now as we start this week on a Monday, 10 days to go until this trade deadline. And I am convinced, whether it's the right thing or not, I don't know. After the Jimmy Butler injury, you know this. We talked about it the next day. I put some stuff on social media. My thought was, if you don't have a great deal staring you in the face and Jimmy Butler's hurt, you keep Jonathan Kuminga. Keep him. Let him play. Let's do 30 games. And let's see what he does. It gets further complicated by an injury, and I really want to discuss this, and we will more on Warriors Live. The framing and the wording of what the Warriors said over the weekend about Jonathan Kuminga, I find to be incredibly significant. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember the Warriors usually doing this. If you know the cadence of a Warrior injury, what they will do is a player gets hurt, then they're going to take a beat, 24 to 48 hours, kind of assess what's going on with the player, and then they're going to come out and they're going to tell you so-and-so player will be reevaluated in, and then they fill in the blank. He'll be reevaluated in a week. He'll be reevaluated in 10 days. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. And that's telling you that player is going to miss at least that amount of time. Then they're going to take a look at him, see if he's ready to ramp up and get back on the floor. Well, what did they say about Jonathan Kuminga? The player will be reevaluated in the coming days.
Yep.
Well, that's all of them.
All the days are coming.
All of the days are coming.
Yeah.
I know he's not going to be reevaluated in the days that have already happened. That's not possible. So when you say he'll be reevaluated in the coming days, you are hucking gray clouds all over the entire report. And I think what you're saying is, like, we're going to keep him over here, at least until we know what's happening at the trade deadline. When I saw that report, I thought to myself immediately, wow, it is now likely, in my opinion, we've seen the last of JK in a Warrior uniform.
It's possible, and this is one of those tricky injuries. It's a bone bruise, which is, kind of a hyperextension, and unless there's real ligament damage, I don't think that there is, because they listed it as a bone bruise. And so, yeah, they're going to hope that he can be reevaluated, and at that time, when they reevaluate him, hopefully it's good news, and maybe you can go ahead and put him out there one more time, or you just show the MRI to his next team and you say, yeah, see, here's the scan, here's the x-ray, here's the MRI. He's going to be fine. Go ahead and trade for him. He's good. It's just a bone bruise,
Well, I think, he's hurt. I'm not saying he's not hurt.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't think it's something that's going to linger long for the season. We saw all the reports immediately that said this is not serious. But, he might miss a little bit of time. Again, the vague nature of the press release that the Warriors sent out, to me, was telling. And it's just unfortunate. But I also, so the end analysis of that is, I don't know if I would love to see them in this moment really go all in on this year and trade Jonathan Kuminga. But I think they will. I don't think the Warriors have an appetite to keep this beyond February 5th, and I think that they think they've got a shot at someone. I don't know who it is. I know everyone wants Trey Murphy. That would surprise me. Maybe the Miles Bridges thing has some merit and some legs. Maybe that's it.
Trades are hard.
But I think they're going to do something.
They have to do something.
Well, but they don't.
Well, they don't, of course. And then you could just look at this year, and Kuminga's got a bone bruise, and then, Butler's going to be out, and you could just try like heck to still get in the play-in and then take a swing at the playoffs and the rest of it. But for me, if you're trying to maximize the Steph Curry window, part of that is this year. And so you trade Kuminga, you get somebody who can come in and help you. And Kuminga, he wasn't really helping you because you weren't playing him. Then you played him, and he was awesome. Then you played him again, and he got hurt. So go ahead and bring somebody in who you have more faith in, Warriors, than you do in Kuminga.
I'm not against it. Again, my whole statement was I'd keep him unless you have a deal that you really, really like. So that's going to be my assessment. It's fine. Go ahead and make a deal, but you better like it. We better like it. Don't do it just to make a trade. Keon Ellis and scraps and things like this are coming back. That, to me, is like, what are we doing? That's pointless. Look, we just did a poll, and only 10% of the people even think this is a playoff team. So what the hell are you really chasing at this point? So if you're going to do it, do it. Do it. Don't be forced into it. Do it because you really, really love what you're getting back.
I don't think that if they were going to do that, if they were going to be forced into it, they already would have done it by now. I don't think that they made a deal. They haven't made a deal because they haven't liked the deal. And now that Kuminga's got a bone bruise and Jimmy's out for the year, I don't think that changes what you want out of the deal, which is you want to make a deal that you think can help you. You're not just going to trade Kuminga because it's tense and it's not working.
We're sponsored by Safeway, and Warriors Live is next on Willard and Tibbs.
Head to Safeway this week for Foster Farms Simply Raised Boneless, Skinless Chicken Breasts. Thin sliced or tenders, buy one, get one free when you buy two. Clip coupons from the weekly mailer or download them from the Safeway app. See you in the aisles.
Yo, it's Willard for Underdog. Football's biggest game right around the corner. You can get in on all that action with Underdog right here in California. If you're not on Underdog yet, hello. Time to get in there because new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. More on that in a second. Playing on Underdog, very easy. You head to the app, you make picks on if a player is going to go higher or lower on all of their stats, whether it's touchdowns, rushing yards, sacks, whatever. If you get them all right, pair them together, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And on football weekends, new promos are dropping daily in the app. You should get in there. It's a great way to multiply your money even more. This week on Underdog, I'd be real tempted to look at lower than passing yards for Drake May. There's word of a throwing shoulder injury. You might want to hop in on that right now. So don't wait. Download the app and use my promo code, Willard, to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, the promo code is my last name, Willard. Type it in. Free money shows up. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 or over and present in California. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
The Golden State Warriors are back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Warriors. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, proud partner of the Golden State Warriors. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Let's watch a movie.
And we have Netflix included to enjoy our favorite shows and movies.
¿Qué tal está? Bacanísima, pero ya la vi.
Now the hard part is getting them to agree on a movie.
Switch today and get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI, all on America's best network. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla. Speed test intelligence data 2H 2025. Receive Netflix standard with ads on us with qualifying plans.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker.
Yes.
Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
Oh! There's never been anything like this.
Let's go. UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
All right, Bay Area, listen up. This one is personal because I actually drive this thing. It's the Ceremony Ford kickoff sales event, and we're talking about the 2026 Ford Explorer. Yes, the SUV I drive every single day. School runs, freeway miles, road trips, all of it. But here's the deal. Right now, Ceremony Ford is offering $2,500 back on every new 2026 Explorer in stock. That's $2,500. Real deal money. No tricks, and this isn't a one-car situation. They've got over 40 Explorers available, different colors, different trims, ready to roll. You show up, pick what you want, and drive it home. The Explorer is roomy, powerful, packed with tech, and smooth on Bay Area roads. It just makes sense for real life. So head to Ceremony Ford right off 280 on Ceremony Boulevard in Coma, Daly City, or shop anytime at ceremonyford.com. Inventory is stacked, deals are legit, and that $2,500 rebate won't last. Ceremony Ford, my Ford dealer.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla and speed test intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
And tonight, right back to action for the Warriors in the same place they were yesterday, looking at the team that is right above them in the standings. The Warriors, 25-21, 8th in the West. The TWolves, 27-18, 7th in the West. They get together in a stay and play, although some very large names will not play, and there is a new development on that. that goes beyond what we already told you about a bunch of the Warriors sitting out.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that. Warriors Live is presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage, brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. If you're just joining us, if you're just hopping into the car after a day of work, good evening to you. It's Willard and Dibbs. We're getting ready for Warrior basketball in 55 minutes. So glad you're with us. Let us fill you in. We already knew DeAnthony Melton and Al Horford were going to be out in this game. Obviously, we already knew Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga were not going to play in this game. But as of a couple of hours ago, Steph Curry and Draymond Green will also not play in this game. But a late add to the injury report for the T-Wolves. Anthony Edwards will not play in this game either. So, yes, Minnesota's got more in terms of options than the Warriors do, but both of these teams are going to be throwing a little bit of a skeleton crew at one another.
Yeah, and it's the second half of a back-to-back, obviously, and it was brought about by the terrible goings-on in Minneapolis and in the Twin Cities area, Minneapolis-St. Paul. So the game that was supposed to be Saturday got pushed to yesterday. So, yeah, back-to-back, and you've got all these players who are either hurt or being managed with their injuries. And so, yeah, skeleton crew against a skeleton crew. And last night was the one I thought the Warriors really needed. I thought that they were going to go for that one, and they did. They hammered Minnesota. And so tonight, not that you ever want to mail one in, but having already got the win in this stay and play makes tonight a little bit less pressurized.
Yeah, I agree with that. Warriors end up blowing out Minnesota yesterday, if you missed it in the haze of all the football that was coming at you. But the Warriors win this one by 26 points, 111-85, and Steve Kerr called it a bizarre one.
I talked to a couple guys individually about it, just how bizarre things felt, but we did what we had to do. We came out and we played a solid game and, took care of the ball and played hard. And so it was a good win, but it's always a night like tonight, you feel perspective of everything and the relative insignificance of a game, with an atmosphere like that, knowing everything that's happened, knowing where our country is right now. It's a very, very bizarre evening, I thought.
Somehow the Golden State Warriors, and I think it's two-pronged, but they've ended up in a number of situations where kind of the bigger stuff, the humanity, the terrible things happening in our country end up sort of also colliding with them. There was the situation when they were in Dallas earlier in calendar year 2025, when there were awful happenings there. And I know part of it is also the Warriors' willingness to speak on these issues. Steve Kerr, obviously, it's very near and dear to his heart. Steph Curry spoke out about this very much as well. So part of it is their standing within the NBA community, a la LeBron James, who often has a lot to say about these situations. But a lot of these terrible things have also kind of followed and fallen with the Warriors. And so here we are again with them kind of taking the community NBA lead.
Right, and it's partly, too, that the league itself saw what was going on and said, you know what, let's not play today. Let's push it back. And it's a back-to-back, which nobody obviously wants, but it was the right thing to do. And, yeah, Steve and Steph, to an extent, they're always going to speak out because they are passionate people, and especially Steve Kerr. If anything is going on with our country, as he said in that cut you just played, Steve's not just going to ignore it. He's very tuned in to the goings-on here in America.
Warriors Live is presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage, brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. Be that as it may with everything that has taken place, which is just, it's completely unthinkable. And I came in heartbroken today about everything that has taken place. Have not even figured out a way to reason with this yet, and did want to take at least a few minutes of our time and our microphones to just encourage everybody, whatever it is you feel, to just not be silent and keep pushing, because this stuff is unthinkable. But even with all of that, the Minnesota Timberwolves, to make it about basketball, because that's what we do, but the Minnesota Timberwolves were having a real hard time before any of this kind of came to the forefront in Minnesota As mentioned earlier, they are losers of 5 in a row. They've been giving up buckets of points. Yes, the schedule was a little tough. Lost at Houston, lost at San Antonio, lost at Utah, lost a home game to the Chicago Bulls. And now the Golden State Warriors, with the lineup being the way that it is, maybe this is their opportunity to hop back and get on the winning track. But the TWolves are spiraling. Which from a standings perspective is actually one of the things the Warriors need.
Yeah, and it's encouraging because, as you mentioned before, the Warriors just a game and a half out of the 6 and well clear of the 11 seed. So I don't think that you're looking behind you at all. And honestly, at this point in the season, these kind of are the dog days where you've played 47, you've got 35 to go, you still have another 10, I think, before the All-Star break, and you got the deadline coming, so it's hard not to look too far ahead, especially with, the trade deadline, and you know that most likely one, if not more, of your teammates will be traded, and you'll have a new teammate or more coming back this way, so it's hard to not think about that, and knowing that the deadline is in 10 days, and also looking at the All-Star break, which is coming, and only Steph is going to be an All-Star, so for the rest of the team, it is a nice 5-day break that's coming.
I just feel like our entire city right now, from a sports perspective, not the terrible things we've been talking about, but from a sports perspective, we're on a real kind of like TikTok timeline right now. The Super Bowl is on its way. For those of you who don't know, our entire station is going to be at Radio Row the entire week. A week from today, we'll be on location at Moscone Center, talking to huge names and having a celebration of sorts. I know that the Seahawks and the Patriots may not make you feel like celebrating, but the celebration of the event, the Super Bowl itself, but also tucked into that week is the NBA trade deadline. And we know that the majority of the action happens the final week leading up to the deadline, which is going to be Thursday, February 5th. I just feel like it's going to be we're in the calm before the storm right now. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. And I mean, the storm is going to be the Super Bowl that's here and then the trade deadline. And, between now and then, either Kuminga will get better and play, or he'll stay hurt and be traded, or he'll stay hurt and he'll stay here with the Warriors. We just don't know what's going to happen. This bone bruise has really kind of thrown a little bit of a wrench into the works.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, speaking of that, let's go ahead and do today's injury report, brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. For more info, visit boxerlaw.com. We'll start with the Warrior injury list. We'll let you hear what Steph had to say about it after we get through the list. Steph was listed as questionable, now out because of some knee inflammation. Draymond Green, left lower back soreness, is out. We know that Jonathan Kuminga is out, and the update from yesterday is that Kuminga did have an MRI. It confirmed that he's got that bone bruise, hyperextension, progress monitored, and a reevaluation date will be determined in the coming days. So not even a specific date where they will reevaluate. DeAnthony Melton is out with left knee injury management. Al Horford, left toe injury management, is out. Seth Curry with the sciatic nerve continues to be out. Jimmy Butler has his torn ACL. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is out. That's a right foot injury maintenance issue. And Terrence Shannon Jr. with a left foot strain is out as well. So that is the full injury report, and here's what Steph said yesterday about his knee.
Something flared up yesterday when we came over to get a workout in. It was super weird. Like, I've had stuff going on, quads and whatnot, but it was something that I hadn't felt before, so I definitely took advantage of the day off to get right, but hopefully that continues.
Okay, that's from Steph, but he did go out and play 28 minutes in the game and scored 26 points, and so whatever it is that's going on was not enough to keep him out of both of these games, but the Warriors will take the opportunity to let him sit this one out tonight.
Yeah, and then Draymond's out as well with the lower left back ailment, and so you look at the injury list and you realize not so much who you're going to miss, but who do you have left? And I guess you have 8 players who you're going to be able to put out there. I think that's the league mandate.
I love that you said this because we just got a text, Boxer & Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line, say, hey, I understand you have to do the injury report. Would you mind just telling us who's in? let alone who's out. Can we just talk about who's in, please?
Hi, this is Guy Santos.
Right. Guy Santos.
Quentin Post.
Is in. Quentin Post is in.
You love Will Richard.
Trace Jackson Davis.
The Poughkeepsie kid.
Is available. Moses Moody is available. GP2 is available. Yes, Brandon Pajemski is in. Pat Spencer is available tonight for the Warriors as well.
I saw LJ Cryer was questionable with a something. I might be making that up, but
well, he's not on the injury report. I don't know. You know, when you get to the LJ Cryers and Leons of the world, I don't know what their status
He was listed on the official injury report. I don't put every single injury that's listed on what I hand to you guys because there's like a bunch of, G League two-way guys that are listed that I tend to not include.
But someone might show up tonight.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Pat Spencer minutes coming up tonight.
For sure, Pat Spencer minutes. And then we had mentioned this about an hour ago. For those of you who aren't clear on the two-way contract rules, Pat Spencer is allowed 50 games, and it's not about whether or not he plays. It's about whether or not he's active. He's allowed 50 games of being active before they've got to figure out what to do with his deal. Tonight is game 46. There are 4 more between now and the trade deadline next Thursday. If Pat Spencer is active for all 4 of those games, that's a wrap, and they need to find out something to do. Yes, the trade deadline may open up a spot. We'll see.
Yeah, and hopefully it opens up money as well, because I know that they're really close to the second apron. They're hard capped and all the rest of it, so it's not as easy as, yeah, Pat, we like you, and there's a roster spot, which is kind of why they had to wait on Seth Curry for, the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, because they didn't want his money to kick in just yet, because that would have put him over the cap as well.
Warriors Live is presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity. Imagine that. Also, taking a look at injury management and how they do load management and all of that. Just so you know, the Warriors do have one more game on this road trip after this game tonight. They will play again on Wednesday, the 28th in Utah before coming back home, albeit a short homestand, but a homestand, and a very kind of highly anticipated game this Friday with the Detroit Pistons in town. You got the Draymond Green, Michigan State bobblehead game and a good measuring stick to see what the Warriors can do against one of the best teams in the East.
Yeah, and I love the bobblehead with the Michigan State jersey, Draymond Green. It looks exactly like Draymond Green. They got that bobblehead just perfect. But yeah, I mean, it's a measuring stick game if you have everybody but Jimmy and even but Jonathan Kuminga. We don't know if he'll be healthy enough to play. And you said it earlier that you think he might have played his last game as a Warriors.
Possible, yeah.
Well, I mean, it does, because you got the deadline in just 10 days, and I don't even know if he'll be healthy within the next 10 days, because the bone bruise and the knee, that's a tricky one.
Also, and I don't know, I look at that right now, and it's like, my goodness, I like, what will the Warriors look like by then? What will their record be? Who's on the roster? It feels like we are heading into the end of some sort of an era.
Yeah, the era can be prolonged if you can just get in the play-in and you can make it out and maybe get into a series.
Have to have other people not just step up, but they're going to get all kinds of minutes that they don't normally get. And we know the Warriors love to shoot threes. And going in there tonight, I think Moses Moody is a name to look at. Moses is probably going to play a pretty significant role. Underdog is listing his high-low number at 14.5 points. I think Moses can clip that. I think he's going to knock down at least 2 or 3 threes. I think Moses goes for higher than 14.5 points tonight. That is my take it to the bank prediction.
That's pretty good. I love it. Kukush, lock that up. And I don't think we mentioned Buddy Hield.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
As a guy who's going to play. Yeah.
How can we leave out Buttard?
I saved the day. Well, maybe tonight he will save the day, but that's not the direction I'm going to go. And
I'm Batman.
You hate to do a fade the Dibber type of a prediction, but I'm looking at Brandon
Fade.
Pazemski.
Ooh.
And his number.
Pazemski.
Thank you. I'm looking at it. It's over under 17.5.
Yeah.
That seems to be muy caliente. So I'm going to go under Pods and 17.5. He's going to try.
Yeah. Who the hell's
really
going to shoot? Who do you think's going to shoot the ball?
I saved the day.
Well, yeah, he'll shoot the ball.
Hi, this is Quentin Post.
My name is Buddy.
17.5 is a little bit too rich. So I'm going to say It's going to be under for Brankin Pagemski.
I mean, you might be right. You might be right.
Yeah, I mean,
but especially with like he and D'Anthony Melton had pretty good two-game kind of or two-man thing going on in some recent games. But at the same time, while he may find it a little bit more difficult sledding without some of those other options on the floor, Brandon's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. So, for the year, he's averaging 12.2. They're knocking it up to 17 with all of these other players out. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't tell you if Dibs, I like your pick.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
It might be one of those things where if they just get straight up motorboated, he might not play 37 minutes. But if it's a close game, he'll be out there and he will get a lot of opportunities to do his thing.
No doubt about it. So, here we go. I still think fans also have a really hard time kind of figuring this out, and I get it. When they see stuff like this happening at a time that feels so urgent for the Warriors, look, the Warriors often, and all NBA teams, quite frankly, they do a really good job. While we fans think something is absolutely urgent, you're falling behind in the standings, they often just look at you and go, no, we're chilling. We're not going to put our players in a bad spot. We're sitting games out. But this is tough, man. This is tough coming off of whatever you saw yesterday where the Warriors run away with a win. You're obviously going against a team that's going through a lot of things and losing a lot of basketball games. At this stage, I think it's hard for fans to see this many players sitting out for the Warriors tonight.
I understand it, but it's the nature of what you're doing with an older team, especially. You knew Horford wouldn't play back-to-backs. Melton off the ACL repair is going to be limited in his minutes. That's an automatic one. Steph tweaked the knee a little bit. You played the cut, and Steph didn't sound overly concerned, but it's a thing. Steph sits, Draymond sits. We get that. And then Jimmy is out for the year. So I don't know what you're really expecting from this team in this spot late January. And you already found one yesterday. You beat him yesterday. So it's easy to just kind of roll it out and say, all right, Gee, QP, Will Richard, Pozemsk, get it done.
Don't let me forget when we talked to Steve this week to ask, when is Melton just take the reins off? Let's go. Just play. When does he get there? Like, he looks great.
Yep.
When is he just going to play all the games?
That's a question for Rick Celebrini.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. But maybe a question that Steve knows the answer to, though, anyway.
I'm sure he knows the answer, but probably won't give it to you.
You don't know that. Never know unless you ask. Warriors Live is presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage, brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. Would you like to do it again tomorrow?
Let's do it.
Yeah, do it again tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thanks for being with us today, especially those of you who went through the wars of 95.7 The Game today. For Dibs, for Grady, for Lucas, I'm Mark. Shoot your shot. It's all you got. To the arena next.